Attention students! The Dub Talk podcast may contain some foul language and inappropriate humor, most likely sexual in nature, that's far too inappropriate for your squishy child brains to handle. Listener discretion is advised for the twerps listening out there. Also, I cannot stress this one enough. Major spoilers for the entire Danganronpa franchise, including Danganronpa The Animation, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, Danganronpa 2, and Ultra Despair Girls. This is very important, and something that you should definitely bear in mind, unless you're all caught up on the material, or just don't give a shit about spoiling yourself on the lore. And finally, our staff at Dub Talk Academy has the utmost respect and admiration for the actors, writers, and directors that do their jobs. However, we are no stranger to criticism here and feel like certain flaws and problems with any performance, direction, or script should be addressed with the intentions of expressing what we felt did and did not work. Simply put, we ain't pulling our punches if we think you done fucked up. Now, without further delay, let the Dub Talk class review of Danganronpa The Animation commence. Will our students find hope or be filled with utter despair?
Reality slips far away, fiction comes alive, we start to play. Hope is no more behind the closed door as we drift away from where we were before. Hope and hopelessness become one.
Hello one and all, and welcome to Dub Talk, the podcast where a group of ultimates get together and discuss their thoughts on a recent English dub announcement or review the dub of a series that was released on DVD and Blu-ray. I'm Stephanie, and no, we are not going to be playing a killing game among myself and my cohorts.
Damn it! Why the fuck am I even here? God damn it. Bye, guys. I'll see you next week.
I had my axe ready. I mean, me and Clover were ready to take over the world.
I was gonna kill you all with gay vampire porn. Now what am I to do with all this shit?
No, Jesus Christ. Okay, so, as you can probably guess, today I am joined by the ever-wonderful Megan, the ever-wonderful Zenith Rule, and the ever-wonderful Andrew, a.k.a. Classy Spark.
Boop, 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 boop. Get your two-toned ass out of here.
Really? If that doesn't give the audience... If that doesn't give the audience any kind of clue as to what we're going to be doing today...
Despair for tomorrow. Despair for today. Despair for all of us. This is the most snobbish you're ever going to hear me.
I think he just got a despair erection over there.
So he is the ultimate despair. I am ultimate best girl, and I don't know about the rest of you.
I am ultimate Fujoshi trash.
Yeah, that is very true.
So
what does that make
you're
me?
You are ultimate.
What does that make me? What
ultimate super high school level editing queen.
Ultimate biggest ultimate. Oh, I got it. Ultimate. Highest amount of patience to deal with our bullshit. So you're Kyoko Kirigiri.
Okay.
Why do I have to be Fukawa?
You said
you agreed to it.
Trash.
True.
Anyway.
So does that make Zenith? Does that make Zenith?
Zenith can only be Chihiro.
Oh. No, I'm both Chihiro and Chiaki because Chiaki is my waifu. So that
we're not talking about Chiaki
We're
today.
gonna have waifu wars next round.
That's gonna be next round.
Waifu wars will come, but not today.
Who would I be?
Naegi.
Oh, Lord.
You know what? Yes.
Fuck it, I'll take it.
Naegi.
Anyway, because no one can tell what we're going to be talking about today, so the four of us are here taking on a rather hefty project for the podcast. Now, originally, it was just going to be a dub review for today's series, as this was at least planned out over a year ago. But
Studio Lerchi was like, fuck that shit.
Yeah,
Kodaka's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, due to recent events and recent series, the four of us are going to be tackling not one, not two, but three. Three series together under the same franchise. Yeah, if you can't tell by either the title card you're probably seeing on the screen right now, or the four of us blabbering about Super High School Ultimates and laughing like stupid idiots and despair, we're going to be covering this hefty project. We're covering all three Danganronpa anime series. You're going to get hear our impressions on the dubs for the 2 arcs for Danganronpa 3 in the future. But first, we're going to be fighting the ultimate despair as we tackle the first season known as Danganronpa The Animation, which is based off of the first video game, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc.
Nothing says adapting a 20-plus hour games like 13 episodes.
I know, right?
Am I right, boys?
For those who might be unfamiliar with this first series specifically, here's a quick little summary. Makoto Naegi, an average student, is selected to join Hope's Peak Academy, arrives at the school only to lose consciousness, and later finds himself trapped inside the school along with 14 other students. There, a sadistic remote-controlled teddy bear by the name of Monokuma announces that the students will be forced to live in the school forever, offering only one way to graduate: murder another student and get away with it. When a crime scene is discovered, a class trial is held in which the remaining students must discuss amongst themselves who the murderer is. If they can successfully figure out who murdered the victim, the culprit alone will be executed. However, if they guess incorrectly, the culprit will be able to leave the school and everyone else will be executed. So,
because fuck you, that's why.
Because it's a killing game.
No,
Yes.
that's not what it's actually about. It's about Joe Everyman trying to get with an idol, but realizing the detective girl was better the whole time.
No, it's about the ultimate hope realizing that despair can never trump hope because hope.
Kibo,
Anyway.
Zetsubō, Kibo, Zetsubō.
Anyway.
Yore doze.
Anyway.
There's lots of hope for
So-
everyone.
God damn it! God damn it! Shut up for 5 seconds, because we're already like 6 minutes into this intro.
So,
Sorry, Mom.
Miss Kira,
Anyway.
please tell us who was the director tasked with such a hefty project.
I'm not even that far. Thank you for jumping the gun. As always, when we talk about full dubs and do full dub reviews, we're going to be covering the cast of the series, discussing our thoughts and opinions on the casting and performances of the English dub. And this is your final warning. If you did not pay attention to the opening disclaimer, there will be spoilers for this series and even possibly some from the game and the sequel games.
Spoilers up the wazoo. I give no fucks. If you're this far, this is a powder keg waiting to explode. If you don't know anything, this is your own fucking fault at this point, buddy. Okay?
Spoilers, Chiaki is bae.
I mean, yes.
We're not at Chiaki. That's not for today. We're gonna try and hold off on spoiling Danganronpa 3's 2 arcs as best as we can.
Well, I'll try not to spoil Danganronpa 2 until we get to Despair arc.
But we make no promises. So now are we ready to start this class trial?
I guess.
I've got some evidence bullets to.
You ready to go?
I'm here to
verbal
develop
bullets
a
to shoot.
split personality and wanna fuck Togami.
Gross.
Okay, and on that though, why don't we start with the ADR director and the scriptwriter for Danganronpa?
For Togami's worst boy.
So previously, originally when Dub Talk was initially a vlog series, I did cover the casting announcement for the Danganronpa The Animation. I'm not even gonna try and do predictions at this point because that's kind of stupid. So, starting off, ADR director, scriptwriter. ADR director is Christopher Bevins. The scriptwriter, oh lord, J. Michael Tatum.
Why? Why?
So if you're unfamiliar with the work that these 2 individuals do, in terms of directing, Christopher Bevins, you've heard his work. Let's see.
I can tell you right now, Jormungand and Gangster were 2 of the projects I can think of right now.
Let's see.
Terror in Residence.
Terror in Residence.
Yep, Terror in Residence. Let's see what else we have. Aquarian Evil. We have Beck Mongolian Chop Squad.
Heavy Object.
Yeah, okay.
Heavy Object. Gunslinger Girl. Heroic Legend of Arslan is another one. Hitalia. He did 10 episodes of One Piece. He's the director for Nobunaga. Michiko and Hatchin.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay.
Selector Infected Wixis. Sacred Blacksmith. Let's see. Shakugan no Shana. Sengoku Basara.
I enjoy
Speed.
the fact he did
Speedgrapher and Yorikuma Arashi.
Good choices.
Yay, bears.
Let's get it out of the way. What did Tatum write?
So Tatum, in terms of scriptwriting work, you've probably heard his work before with Assassination Classroom, Attack on Titan, Big Wind-Up, Codebreaker, let's see, Dead Man Wonderland, Empire of Corpses. He was the assistant scriptwriter for that. He did the script for Fractale for free for Future Diary. Is This a Zombie? Negima, Nobunaga. He did the script for Nobunaga as well. Let's see. Anything else of major note? The script for Tokyo ESP.
Okay. And
that's really about it in terms of scriptwriting work. So, we need to get one thing out of the way first.
The casting?
Because the big thing in terms of the cast with the anime series. Only one person from the video game dub reprises their role in the anime. That being Makoto Naegi, which we'll get to a ways from now.
Mm-hmm.
But I know people have been were rather vocal when the dub was announced for Danganronpa. But there's probably some speculation as to why they couldn't get anyone except for Makoto's voice actor to come back for this. I think if we tried to get the speculation correct, the big thing was from what we know of and what we probably heard of, was that Funimation was probably in the process of casting the show when the video game cast was announced. Because, according to Roots, he first saw tweets from another voice actor, the voice actor for the series who plays Monokuma. He saw tweets from him about August 2014, about playing a villain for Funimation.
Let's make a disclaimer right now that any and all of the things we're going to say are, in fact, speculatory.
We could be completely and utterly wrong, but this is just us speculating as of right now what could have gone on and the reason why they probably weren't able to get the video game cast to come back. I mean, there's also a variety of other factors, too. It could be a scheduling issue. Some of the voice actors from the video game might have been union, so there might have been a union issue.
The other issue comes down to, like, I recall some of them were like, they would have done it if they were asked, but some of them were like, never asked, so...
I know when we get to the future arc...
We might have some things to say there.
We might have some things to say there. It's going to be really interesting.
Indeed.
But,
I have not seen any of the future arc yet, though, so...
You need to fix this problem.
Got some homework to do,
I was busy rewatching Danganronpa Season 1 for today, so...
As was I.
Now you need to watch the 2 arcs for Danganronpa 3, so you can be ready to go for those 2.
Your heart is not ready, especially for those Despair arc episodes.
Oh lord. Oh lord. Giant Pomeranian.
Oh my god.
No, that's not even what I'm talking about.
He's
gonna love every scene on the bench.
Oh my god.
Lilac,
yes.
Are you telling me that the Pomeranian choir from Dance with Devils has made its return?
Oh my god. Well, maybe,
Sure.
and might have been in a big way.
Anyway.
Quite
Dog of
literally.
wisdom, por favor.
Betty, Dog of Wisdom.
Anyway,
Ba-da-ba-da.
so
We will mention references to both casts in this video, but mostly our main goal is to review the dub of this series and what we think of the direction and the
Can I
script.
start?
You can start.
Well, so here's the question. Now that we got the speculation and everything out of the way, how do we feel about the directing and the writing for this show?
Well, somebody took the script and beat it out behind the woodshed like it was a dying horse.
Oh my god! That's one way to put it! That's one way to put it. Definitely one way to put it. Zenith, I think you had words.
Just close your eyes and it'll all be quick.
This script...
Think of the bunny, George.
Speaking as someone who went through the first game twice, I don't even know what they were thinking when doing this, because some things partially work. There are definitely some moments where I feel the script is actually kind of funny and makes sense in regards to what's going on. 95% of the time, I'm shaking my head, because while it has the same material as the game, it takes very particular liberties, and Tatum, why? First of all, there are many points where Tatum just goes off the rails and starts making Dragon Ball Z references for no reason.
I think there was just like that one scene.
There's
that
a
was
reason, but that frustrates me even more.
Well,
we'll get to that reason a little bit later on because that involves
a certain character. Yes,
that's a certain character.
So let me say what I think happened. So,
okay.
I can't say I have the source offhand, but I remember in an interview from Nice America when they were asking about localization of the original creators, there was only one request that those people had about what they changed or what they didn't change. That request, keep him Monokuma. That was their only request.
Yep. Keeping Monokuma's name as Monokuma.
So the rest, they had like the choice to do with adapting and localizing as they would. So here's the difference in mentality that the game and the dub did that I think sums this up very nicely. The game, it is a looser translation, but a tighter script. And the anime dub has a tighter translation, but a looser script.
Yeah.
For example, the game basically for the most part it's serious. It treats these characters as the same way they would in Japanese. There's still jokes with them, but for the most part it keeps the same tone and serious nature of the franchise because yes, you want to have humor for levity, but for the most part you want to make sure that a lot of the stuff that happens is somewhat believable in the context of the game. In the anime, it's just like they don't really give a fuck if they keep the tone the same or not.
Well, I kind of disagree there. Because I think a lot of the weird, really, really stupid references, that happened more along the comedic moments, for comedic effect. When it actually came down to the actual class trials, and getting into that serious tone, minus Monokuma, because he had those moments still.
I'll agree with Steph there.
I think they did bring in that serious tone, and most of the really weird references, like, one of the characters is called a fucking narwhal early on.
God, I forgot.
I laughed.
So
okay,
some of
I
that,
laughed at
some
that,
of
and
that
I'm not even fucking ashamed.
I will somewhat disagree in a sense because there was a line during the series portion where, ain't this just a kick in the dick?
I think I know what.
Well,
yeah,
that's Fukawa, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, technically Genocider show, but we'll get to her in a while. Well, I feel, okay, let me correct myself. I feel slight exceptions for the serious, when it gets serious, I feel like the slight exceptions would be Monokuma and maybe Genocider show. Those are probably the two main exceptions to that rule.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that.
Everybody else kind of just stuck to that serious tone when it called for it, and I think it worked. And then those stupid references, like the DBZ, the narwhal, that was used for comedic effect.
Okay, the narwhal, like I said, the narwhal line actually made me laugh.
Here's the thing. There's certain lines in this thing that actually made me laugh. There's a part where Togumi gets called an ass face, and he sounds so offended and hurt that I actually cracked the fuck up. I'm like, okay, Tatum.
That was brilliant.
I'll give you that one. Togumi.
There was also
because that was Genocider's show who called him a ass face because it was early on when she appeared. So that made so much sense and it worked because again it brings in that exception of Genocider show and Monokuma.
There's also the line when the ultimate whole monitor comes out of the bath and he's like, "This sauna is amazeballs."
Again, comedic moment. He said amazeballs.
Fuck.
And it actually did work.
Andrew, fuck.
It worked for that one scene, and I thought it was really funny, especially because he had just changed characters a bit.
Right.
But then they use amazeballs later on in the script, and I don't think it worked.
But that later on in the script, that was also Monokuma.
Yes.
That was also Monokuma. Again, the exception,
YOLO,
not the rule.
Who also said YOLO.
Yeah, again, I think the comedic moments, they might have been a little bit shoehorned and full of stupid references. But when it came down to it being serious, I think it worked. Directing-wise, in terms of directing the cast, there are some choices that kind of did not work.
There's some choices.
Yes.
When we get to Hagakure is my problem child in this situation. It did not work.
I'm gonna have a lot to say on the differences between both casts, but I'll say for the most part, the majority of the casts either work as really good stand-ins alongside the game cast, or even are vastly better. I'll say which ones I feel are vastly better. There's a couple I think are meh, and there's one or two I think are really kind of bad. But for the most part, the majority of the characters that were cast in the anime and the directing on said characters was pretty spot on and spectacular. The script itself was serviceable.
I think it was very split.
I kind of feel it was split too. I feel...
Yeah, it depends on the character you talk about.
It depends on... That's why I'm just talking about directing overall. Overall, I think it was a fine product. Scripting itself was...
That's a bit of a...
The script was a very weak link.
Here's the thing. I know people like to talk about Tatum's more loose adaptation scripts and how they have problems with it. And here's the thing. I've kind of known, but I've never got it. I never had a Free or an Attack on Titan where I was that passionate about that series.
Attack on Titan wasn't that fucking bad.
Okay.
No.
Honestly, I liked
Attack on Titan. I'm not saying Attack on Titan
liked
was a bad
Attack on
script.
Titan.
I'm not saying that one was. I'm just talking about like stuff Tatum's worked on where people have had problems with. I've never had a Free or something like that where I felt this strongly about this lucid adaptation.
I think
now
between,
I do.
Like, now you understand.
And I understand your pain, Megan. So, Tatum, in short,
So-
you are a very talented person. You're a very talented actor. I like your stuff, and some of your script additions can be legitimately funny and legitimately good depending on the scene and depending on the show. I am just a fucking Danganronpa snob, and this is where the one time where I'm like, no, fuck off.
Well,
I'm not even as much of a Danganronpa snob, and there are points where it's like, okay, this script, not so good.
You can tell Kodaka from Tatum.
This is my first Tatum script where I knew the material going beforehand.
Same.
Because Attack on Titan, I did not know the show before I watched it, and I watched that dub only, so I don't have any point of reference from where they changed it. Here, this is a franchise where I played the first two games. I'm halfway through the 2.5, Ultra Despair Girls, and it's just like I know so much of what's going on that I can't bring that aside. So I'm ultimately going to compare it to what I've seen before, and the liberties taken just seem to affect it negatively for the most part in terms of script, in my opinion.
And I guess I'm in the position of being the weird one out in this, because while I have watched the anime, I never actually played the game.
Yeah, I've never played the game either.
And nor have I watched anybody Let's Play the game.
That is where I come in. I've seen Let's Plays.
I actually read a fan translation of the game.
I did too, and I played it.
I've only read the fan translation of the game, and I have maybe gotten as far as... I think I just met Monokuma in the first game, and then I stopped because I was busy doing other stuff. Also, for some reason, the only computer game I can bring myself to play is League of Legends for some stupid reason.
Poor decision.
What?
What?
What was that, Andrew?
What? I didn't say nothing.
Yes, you did.
Oh, what? No.
Bitch, are we gonna have fighting words?
Just keep going, or else we're gonna be stuck here all night. Come on.
So I can't really see. I'm gonna kick Andrew in the nuts. I'm gonna kick whatever the fuck's between Zenith's legs. Lilac, your vag is safe.
Thank you.
So, I guess I'm not really, but I understand. To me, you will never be worse than Tatum's writing of Free. Like,
no.
That is my pinnacle of fuck you. Like, that is me at my angriest. And you can ask Lilac, Hardy, and Noah how mad I was about it.
Oh, she was.
I was ready to kill.
Yeah, it was bad.
But I don't think it's that bad. And I've watched the dub. I've watched the dub all the way through once, and I was kind of picking it through again this weekend. And I didn't really, aside from the obvious blatant X person's in here, so we better reference X series X person is in.
Right.
But for me, this is gonna sound really weird. To me, Danganronpa also doesn't sound right because it isn't the abridged.
Of course.
This abridged series is not welcome in this class environment.
So, it's not welcome in this school environment. So for me, everything... There's a certain character, when we get to them, I'm gonna have my moment. But for me...
Honestly, I feel...
My stick point of Danganronpa judgment is Ferello's abridged.
I feel like some of the class trials in the abridged series are more loyal to the material than the fucking anime.
Which is terrifying!
Yeah. When you have an anime adaptation of a 20-hour game that you know, it's going to take a while to cover everything, but you make it 13 episodes, it's going to affect some things. And I do feel that some arcs are actually made better by the streamlining, because I did not like the Celeste arc that much in the game. I thought it dragged on.
Yeah, because I know you and I had the conversation about this the other day.
That one did drag on
Zenith.
a little too long, but...
Yeah, because the anime was actually, like, they only did 13 episodes of, again, like a 20-hour game. So, of course, there's going to be liberties. We don't know how much liberties were taken. It could be, like, a budgeted shoot that the studio had. It could be a lot of things. But some of it worked, some of it didn't. Mm-hmm. But that's going into the actual series itself. But we're talking about the dub. So, based on what I'm hearing, in terms of director and writer, it's kind of split.
It's pretty split.
It's pretty split.
There are good job directing. I would say the writing and a couple of the casting is pretty weak, but I think Bevins did a decent job directing.
I think,
and
from
what I saw of the game's cast, I'm not particularly fond of a lot of the voices. But again, I did see the anime before I played the game, and I do.
Yeah, that's my end too.
I'm personally
I'm
more passionate to the game's second cast overall, but I feel like
second cast is really good.
I love the cast of the second game so much. It's great.
Yeah.
But based on what I'm hearing, it's pretty split in terms of, like, there are good moments with the direction and the writing. But then there are also the rather
confusing poor choices, which we will discuss.
I'm not gonna say it's a horrible adaptation, because I've seen far worse. I'm very split on many parts of it.
Again, there's its good points, there are its bad points. It happens.
My snobbishness comes from both Western and Eastern perspectives.
Okay. You're equal opportunity snob.
Zenith, I love how we're both snobs together. Thank you for being here.
And on that note, are we ready to actually start going into the cast?
Oh, yes, we are.
Alright, so for the majority of the casting, we're going to put them in pairs. I think there's only 4 we're going to leave essentially separate. Though technically one of those separate ones is a pair, but they are played by the same voice actor. But we'll get to them.
They're big ones.
So the first pair that we're going to be talking about are the 2 characters that basically have the least amount of screen time.
The Kodaka Hates You squad.
Yeah, so we have Sayaka Maizono and Leon Kuwata. Sayaka Maizono is the super high school level idol, and Leon Kuwata is the super high school level baseball player. These two
Every time I hear Maizono's name, all I think of is Maizono put these knives here to protect you. Go to sleep, Nagi-kun.
Oh God.
God. Anyway, the 2 individuals.
So
the two individuals who voice these characters. Sayaka Maizono is voiced by Monica Rial, while Leon Kuwata is voiced by Justin Cook. I think when this cast came out, this was the first time in a long ass time I had seen Justin Cook's name on a press release. To be completely honest.
The other things I'd like to mention right now, since we are doing slight comparisons, is in the game, Maizono was played by Dorothy Elias Fawn, and Leon was played by Grant George.
So, in terms of roles that Justin Cook and Monica Rial have done, just to go over that real briefly, for Justin Cook, you probably most notably know him is Yusuke Urameshi from Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's see. In terms of other roles, let's see. What else has he done at least recently?
Kaminari from My Hero Academia, aka Let's Get Hard.
That is correct.
Yes,
Strawberry Heart from Shoei Rock, and
God bless.
Let's throw one more in there for good measure. Eijiro Kirishima from My Hero Academia.
Yep.
I just said that.
Oh, sorry.
It's good. It's good.
What else? Okay, and then Monica. Monica. If you don't know who Monica is,
She's
you live under a
everyone.
rock.
I got
as always, you live under a rock.
Michiko, Melandro, Tsubaki, Tsukasa, and
Moa!
the shitty mom from that Diabolic Lovers. That's good.
Cordelia. But there's also rules such as Kaede Kaino from Assassination Classroom, Chani Laforet from Bakuno, and what's another good one for her?
Rize
Rize from Tokyo Ghoul. Done.
Great.
Okay, so these two performances, how do we feel about them?
I feel like Monica's role is, hey Monica, are you busy today? No, get the fuck in here.
That's kind of what her role is. I didn't really care for her performance. It was just like, oh,
Yeah.
you want cutesy
However,
Monica, cutesy
Justin
Monica.
Cook did a really good job as Leon Kuwata, and oddly enough sounds like my friend Xander, who cosplays Leon Kuwata.
I'm in agreement with that because I thought Justin Cook did a fantastic
You know my friend
job.
Xander?
No.
No. So I am also in agreement. I think Justin Cook was phenomenal as Leon.
I'll say this.
I am in agreement there.
I'll say this. I think Leon, Justin Cook actually does a really good job, but I'm going to be the defector on this one and actually say I slightly preferred Grant George a little bit more on this one.
See, I don't remember Grant George all that much, but then again, Mizuno and Leon, they were only in there for like maybe 20 minutes.
I don't
So-
have a preference between Mizuno or Dorothy. I guess maybe Monica just because I can remember her compared to Dorothy, but I really didn't even like this performance even in comparison to other Monica
It
roles.
felt like
Monica
a
was
throwaway
just-
performance, to
Yeah.
be honest. Like, I first heard her, and I don't feel like... It's like...
It's not
she
like
was-
she can't act. She can fucking act, but this was just
She
like...
can.
act.
I've
We
seen
know
her
she
do
can.
some amazing things. It's just like they called her to the studio for an hour. They said, "Okay, we just need you to do a few lines. Can you do this?" And she's like, "Okay, I have time in between lunch."
It was
but
her take it or leave it, and I felt it was kind of meh.
As for Justin Cook, though, like I really love him in everything he does. I wish he did more things.
He just spends
and,
more time in the credits than actually acting nowadays, which is why it's
Yeah.
nice to see him act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
we've been seeing him come forward quite a bit lately in terms of the acting.
Question.
We've seen him come out.
Possible answer.
Question. When they asked Monica to come in the booth, did you think they asked her to take a stab at it?
Oh, God damn it.
I wonder
God
what
damn.
this knife. I wonder what this knife is doing in this booth.
Oh, God damn it.
I don't know, but I think
And then
I think
just
they went
gave
for a
him
pretty
shitty
highball
golden sword
performance.
and like, hey, just swing this shit around a bunch.
I wonder if they got
Anyway.
to get Justin Cook in the booth. They gave him a good pitch about the show.
Megan's the pun master tonight. I'm proud of you, super
Yeah.
high school level pun
Welcome
master.
to the pun show.
Okay.
But yeah, I would have liked to see more of Justin Cook in this role. I think he does a really nice job, and I think if they do ever,
Look, you can
know,
only do so much with a 100-minute trial in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Like I can agree on both ends. I love Justin Cook as Leon. Monica, I'm not gonna say it's a throwaway, but she did do the typical moe kind of character that we used to, really.
I mean, she's supposed to play fake moe, and she played fake moe, so
Right.
it worked.
She
But
did
the
it.
thing is, Mizuno, like I know she's like the ultimate pop star, but there's a little bit more depth that I see to her in the games. So, I mean,
Again,
Deaf adaptation.
20-hour video game.
please.
20-hour video game, 13-episode show.
It is
2
clearly
episodes.
the inferior product, so to speak.
Oh,
Therefore,
God
this
damn it, here we
anime
go.
is clearly much shittier and does not represent the proper characters in the way that was originally intended for them.
Shut up,
actually,
Yamada.
Again,
We'll
how
get to
many
that later.
how many video game adaptations into anime can you really say? Have been
Yamada, no.
There's Persona 4 and Persona
Not Persona 4. No.
and Persona 4.
Shut
Ace
up.
Attorney.
No, Ace Attorney is actually not that successful as an anime,
And
honestly.
then Persona
It
4 the
actually is
Golden
not. No!
Andrew, we get it. You want to fuck Persona 4.
No, Golden Animation can fuck right off, and Marie is a shit.
I
Okay,
will fight you on
anyway.
that.
Oh lord. Anyway, back
Who
to
here
these
loves kanji? I love kanji.
I do love
Kanji's
Back-
great.
Kanji is best.
God, guys.
Way off
Reining
topic.
it back in. Way off topic. Reining it back in. So these two performances, Justin Cook, Monica Rial, one we can say, by the sounds of it, all of us love one. and then all of us are kind of to the other.
Though I do like both Justin and Grant George as Leon, and I just don't care for either of my Suzumo's voices. So I like 2, and I don't care for the other 2.
Okay. Do we think we're good?
I think we're good.
Move on?
I think we're good.
We're good.
Okay. Because I know we love derailing and talk about random stuff, but people have shit to do.
We on the
like
clock.
sleep and do other podcasts and shit. So
And pick
we gotta
up No
keep it
Man's
going.
Sky.
Ooh, nice.
That's at midnight. You have plenty of time for that. Anyway. So the next 2 we're going to be talking about. Oh god, here you go, Megan. Celestia Ludenberg.
My wife.
And Hifumi Yamada.
Yamada, no.
Yeah, Celestia Ludenberg is the super high school level gambler, while Hifumi Yamada is the super high school level. What is it again?
Super high school level.
Light novel trash.
Super high school level, my lady.
He's the Dojin maker.
He's the light novel
super
trash.
Super high school level, my lady.
God.
I'm just gonna refer to him as the super high school level otaku because that's almost essentially.
I think Ultimate Otaku is what he is in the game, so you're not far off.
Oh, like an ultimate otaku teacher? No.
No.
Never mind.
Stop.
Never mind. I'm gonna stop right there. So the 2 voices who are playing these characters, in the case of Hifumi Yamada, we have Tyson Reinhardt, and in the case,
good God.
and in the case of Celestia Ludenberg, we have, oh my goodness, we haven't called her by this in a while. Our wonderful chameleon, Miss Lindsay Seidel.
All right. And I would like to also compare them alongside their game actors. Hifumi Yamada in the game, played by Lucian Dodge, and Celestia Ludenberg in the game, played by Marie-Eve, how do you say this? Marie-Eve Harrington.
Okay.
Marie-Eve Harrington. Let's go with that.
Just stop.
A fish.
Whatever,
Just fish.
Anyway, in terms of other roles that these 2 individuals have done, in Lindsay's case, most notably as of recent, you probably know her as Nagisa from Assassination Classroom. But she's also been in, let's see, she's been in Blood Sea, Certain Magical Index.
She's Edo in Tokyo Ghoul Day.
That is correct. She is also in, let me just find out, there's a couple more. She's Irina for Heroic Legend of Arslan Duststorm Dance. This is the 2nd season of the show. She's also in Is This a Zombie? And let's throw one more good one for good measure.
Isn't she in Shiki or some shit?
She?
Probably.
No, she's not.
Oh.
She's actually not.
Speaking of Shiki, I actually found a really
I
nice
think
Shiki wallpaper just today.
she's somebody in Soul Eater Not. Meme.
She's Mei for Soul Eater Not, and she's also in Psychopaths.
She's the one
In
with the big
terms of-
tits.
Yes. Tyson Reinhardt. Good lord.
Tyson Reinhardt almost caused Hardy to have an aneurysm.
Oh god. I was on the Fallout
I have
2.
words about this actor, but continue.
I will have
Yes,
words too. Anyways.
In terms of other roles that Tyson Reinhardt has done, you've probably seen him in...
He's Daru from Steins Gate.
That is correct. He's also done Absolute Duo, Iraka 7 AO. He's also in Heroic Legend of Arslan as well. He's in Carnival Kami-sama Kiss 2 as Okoni Nushi. He's in Ping Pong. He's Lavali for Rage of Bahamut, since we did talk about that previously. And yeah, probably one of the bigger roles he's known for is Daru from Steins Gate. So, let's get the...
Can I go first?
Let's get the censure out of the way first. How do we feel about Tyson Reinhardt's
Hit the deck!
Okay, I'm gonna start.
Let's get this out of the way first.
Okay, first of all, I find it great that we have these 2 characters paired together, because what we have here is what I feel is one of the most noticeably weaker in the anime compared to the game performances, and one of the really stronger in the anime compared to the game performances paired together. Which one is Yamada? Well, let's say I fucking really don't like Tyson Reinhardt as Yamada.
He is way too over the top.
I agree.
Wow, you're not sugarcoating it, aren't you?
I will not.
I said
like
hit the
this
deck.
Guy. I think Tyson's a cool guy. He's a cool guy, but I'm not even going into old wounds about the other shit that happened. I just think for this one, he goes a little too, like, snobbish, like that snobbish nerdiness I was doing. That's like what he does the whole time, and it just feels fucking dumb and, like, annoying. While I felt like Lucian Dodge's performance in the game was a lot more light and fun and kind of, like,
I
charming
feel like
dorky compared to, like, obnoxious dorky.
Honestly, I feel like there's no... Hifumi was not one of my favorite characters in the game to begin with, but his actor in the game at least brought across something that made me like him and made me care when his time came.
I agree.
But I did not care at all for him in the anime, and when it got to that arc, well, I do think the arc was a lot better streamlined. I really didn't care at all for what happened to him. Way too over the top, way too snobbish. They played up way too much the angle that he's just an otaku. Like, there is more to his character, and they really played up the stereotypical otaku, especially in the anime.
Which
and I know you do
character?
I know you have to streamline somewhat, but I really did not think that they made his character likable, or they did not mature his character whatsoever. They kept him very stereotypical.
I have a question. How much of that is the fault of the anime, and how much of the fault is that of the performance?
I think it's 50-50, because the performance and how over the top it was and the script did a lot. But I think some of it is the fault of the anime, and that they didn't take any of the side interactions with him.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's a mix. Personally, I think Tyson Reinhardt's performance was okay. I think the Hifumi we ended up with in the dub ended up being a more comedic performance rather than being a mix of both. It ended up going way over the top comedic wise rather than being able to bring it back in, and I can understand that.
So
Hifumi's not even my favorite character anyway.
He's not mine either by a country mile.
He's probably one of my least favorite characters. But remember how the whole thing I brought up of the abridged?
Yes.
I can't tell the difference between the abridged version and the actual dub version of Yamada.
That is very true.
That's
It's very...
It sounds almost identical.
It is like night. It's like the same exact thing, and that's...
And here's the thing, though, in the abridged, the way that Farello writes Yamada
it was funny.
is hysterical because it's a fucking parody version. I will not lie that one of my favorite jokes is after Asahina finds Yamada waking up after he gets hit with the hammer. And it's like, Yamada, what do you remember? I remember everything. And it's like the Ride of the Valkyries and Komaida pops up. But
that's perfect.
It's not that I hated it. It's just oh hey, Tyson Reinhardt in this. I also find it ironic that Tyson Reinhardt plays the dude pro fedora character in this show.
I'm trying not to go there.
I have to bring it up.
Oh,
it's
God.
Tyson Reinhardt
the
broke prison
hindsight.
School and brought up Gamergate. There, we fucking said it.
Fucking said it.
Yeah. Well, how about let's shift gears because clearly there's been a lot said about your model. Let's shift gears a little bit to Lindsay Seidel though as Celestia.
Lindsay Seidel can do nothing wrong. Fight me.
Okay.
I think she actually managed to make the character more likable, in my opinion, because I didn't like Celeste too much in the game.
No one likes Celeste that much except for my friend's trashy ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
But this performance, I thought, had so much depth to it, and so much,
phenomenal.
so many layers, and she made it less obvious in this arc who the killer was, which was my big problem with the game.
I thought that was impressive too. So, let me say, I know I've criticized the anime a lot. I'm gonna criticize something from the game now. I realized Harrington, as of late, I've heard her in some other things, she is a good actress. She is a good actress, and I now know that. But I now realize the fault of that performance was the decision to give her a fake accent. And that fake accent in that game did not work for me, and it was obnoxious and terrible, and it just kind of spoke sort of like this. Sort of like a little Asian princess doll that's trying to kind of enunciate things very specifically.
I've got the vapors.
And then you bring in Lindsay Seidel.
Lindsay
where
Seidel,
the accent, there's no accent.
Lindsay Seidel dropped the accent. They dropped the accent thing, and it's just the courteous trying to be the pretty, fashionable lady, and then when she loses her shit, she just loses her shit. Like,
which Lindsay Seidel is really good at losing her shit.
Yes.
But my general thing is the majority of her character is the facade of being, like, preppy and pretty, which this works because it works as preppy and pretty and, like, ladylike, but also kind of hiding a deep secret. And I think of the anime cast, Lindsay Seidel is one of 2 actors that I think is vastly superior in the anime in comparison to the game. She is one
I
of
will
2.
completely agree with that. Like, I loved her performance
absolutely.
in this, and I was very, very surprised by that.
I'm very curious if we'll have the same thoughts about my second guy when we get there.
Oh, I know. You and I already know we have the same thoughts on your second person.
Oh, you and I know.
We know. But we'll get to that. So, I guess the consensus is, for Lindsay Seidel, absolutely fell in love with it. Tyson Reinhardt, there's a mix of lots of dissension, and then in mine and Megan's case, it was okay.
I like Lucian
was
Dodge
okay.
so much better.
I haven't
Plebeians.
played the game, so I'm probably gonna like it a lot more when I get there, but I
Yeah.
mean, like...
It's been a while since I saw
mean-
the walkthrough of the game, the first game.
I mean, Tyson didn't really hit the nail on the head.
No.
But he got hit on the head instead.
Multiple
Oh.
times.
He didn't hit the nail on the head, and then I guess I can't think of a fucking fire truck pun. I can't think of a fire truck pun.
Didn't you want to have your... I thought you wanted to have your moment with Celestia, though.
Other than
Giggity.
She was flaming.
No!
No,
If she
the
were a
abrasive-
drag
I mean,
queen,
she's so
she'd be
hot.
flaming.
Hot damn. They called the police and the fireman.
Okay.
Okay. I think... Are we
No.
ready to move on to the 2 broiest bros who ever broed in their broy life?
Bro.
Bro,
Okay.
me.
Bro, can I
Okay.
borrow a map? Why? Because I get lost in your eyes, bro. Bro.
Bro.
Anyway.
I love those.
Those 2 are just so glorious together. Anyway.
One of my friends does that to me all the time when I see her.
Anyway, the 2 characters we're referring to as the most broiest of bro. We have Mondo Owada, and we also have Kiyotaka Ishimaru.
AKA Josuke Higashikata. I mean, Kyosuke Kuwabara. I mean, Mondo.
So, Mondo's character, he's...
That was smooth, Andrew, just like butter.
Oh, Lord.
Megan, I love
He's
you.
butter
Mondo.
now, no questions.
Mondo is... Mondo. God damn it, shut up. Mondo is the super high school level biker. And Ishimaru is the super high school level. They refer to him as a hall monitor, I think.
Student council
By
president.
the way, if you
Student
have to
council
ask,
member,
Student.
hall monitor,
if you
something
have
like
to
that.
ask,
Super high school
yes.
eyebrow. Let's go with that.
He's
you have-
basically the follower of rules.
Can I say something?
What?
What?
If you have to ask, yes, there's copious amounts of porn of these 2.
I know. Believe
Rule
me,
34.
I
Thanks,
know.
Rocky.
Alright, in terms of the people who voiced these 2 characters for the series, for Mondo Owada, oh lord, Christopher Sabat.
You're
Wow.
meshy.
Yes. While Ishimaru, oh, this makes me so happy. Ishimaru is voiced by Austin Tyndall.
And thus was born
And then
Justice Karma.
And then to bring up the game actors, as I will continue to do, Ishimaru is voiced by Sean Chiplock, and Mondo Owada is voiced by Keith Silverstein.
So, in terms of roles that the anime voice actors have been involved with, Christopher Sabat, if you don't know who that is, you're probably stuck under your rock still after we talked about Monica. But, anyway.
If you watched one episode of Dragon Ball Z in your life, you know who Christopher Sabat is.
Yeah, 'cause
Or
he's like
Yu Hakusho.
Piccolo
or
Vegeta, he's Kuwabara from Yu Hakusho.
Vegeta.
He's, Roronoa from One Piece, but some stuff that's
Did somebody say
not
One
me.
Piece?
No, Zenith, we can't have you snob over
No,
two things.
Zenith, no.
Not right
Whatever
now.
you do not mention My Hero Academia and All Might.
What?
That's Andrew's trigger.
What?
Oh god damn it. Anyway, other roles. He's been in Brothers Conflict. He's also been yeah. Devil's a part-timer, Dimension W as Kiyoma Mabuchi. Let's see. Free Eternal Summer.
Let's actually mention All Might, because I think that's one of his best roles in a while, actually.
Yeah. Fuma
Despite our
Alchemist,
hatred
of
of it at
course,
the
is
beginning.
Alex Louise Armstrong, as well as a variety of others. And in terms of Austin Tyndall. Oh, Austin Tyndall.
Austin Tyndall!
Also known as the various forms of Karma.
He's Karma, and Kaneki, and Karma,
Coffee
and
Karma.
Okay, so Karma Akabane from Assassination Classroom, Kaneki Ken from... Kaneki, excuse me, from Tokyo Ghoul. He's also Accelerator from the certain Magical Index franchise. He was recently announced to be the male character Tusk for Cross Ange for Sentai Filmworks.
Yeah, that...
Sentai, why do you do this?
He's also in Guilty Crown, as well as Is a Zombie, Noreen, Prince of Stride, Prison School.
Good stuff.
Vampire Karma, Crowley
He's
from
Crowley,
Seraph of the
don't
End.
tell Hardy.
So there's a variety of the roles.
You forgot Obi.
Oh yeah, Obi's a good
I
one.
forgot
Obi's a good
Ninja
one.
Karma.
Dare you?
We forgot Ninja
I'm
Karma.
friends.
I forgot
My
you.
Chiryōyaku, I feel betrayed.
I'm sorry. Anyway,
It's okay.
in terms of performances for these two, I'm just gonna start off by saying,
I fucking love it. Fight me, bitch.
Which one?
well,
Which one?
I'm just gonna start.
Both.
No, I'm gonna start off by saying, because I'm actually gonna compare the game cast on this one.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say, in terms of comparing the game to the anime, I prefer Keith Silverstein's Owada compared to Sabat.
I agree.
I don't know, but I like them
am
both.
going to be kind of on the fence because I think they both did an admirable job.
I think they both did a good job. It's just like I think Sabat was more of the typecast.
Here's what
Sabat
it is.
was much more of his like regular
Sabat-iness.
Zoro voice.
No.
I could pick it.
No. Okay. So, sorry, I had to take this one from you for a second because I gotta speak. I joke about him being Kuwabara. I realize now, I didn't actually want Kuwabara. I got Kuwabara, and I was on Kuwabara being actually Kuwabara. I feel
But he
redeemed
didn't use
himself.
the accent.
I feel
he didn't use his like.
Yeah, Mitchie.
I feel he redeemed himself during the actual trial when he like actually did some emotional stuff. I thought
Yep,
that was
I admit I really liked about Sabat's performance of Owada. That I admit was good.
He
Everything
made
else I
me
was like,
cry tears of manliness.
okay.
Because
I
know we had the conversations, Zenith, that like because you weren't a big fan of the first few episodes of the series, but you felt that in Owada's case, they basically did the character justice from everything that he was going through.
In the anime, they actually did do a good job of going over his arc and at least referencing the contradictory irony of him seeing Chihiro as strong and him seeing himself as weak, which was always an arc I really liked in general.
They see that was the first arc that really grabbed me in the game too.
I agree.
And with the anime, where I thought the first 3 episodes were just kind of okay.
Well, the first few episodes were also like it's that whole tutorial trial.
It was it was still a rush adaptation, but it wasn't a bad adaptation.
Right.
I just feel like this arc and them utilizing these characters the way they did in the anime redeemed it a lot in my eyes. Had they done a worse job, I might have a lot more bad things to say about it as a whole. But yeah, in terms of the actual like voice what Chris Sabat did with the emotion of this character, like I thought was simply fantastic. You could feel every single gear turning in his head, especially when they showcase him in that specific scene, and it just there's something that really got across with that voice cast. I think just that episode in particular was Chris Sabat at his finest.
Huh.
I wouldn't necessarily say at his finest, but in terms of Mondo's character, that was definitely the high point for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he at least knocked that part out of the park.
I agree.
I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Megan, how do you feel about Sabat?
I mean, I liked it a lot. I actually really, really liked it, but again, I haven't played the game. and I'm about to disappoint all of you. I've never watched Yu Yu Hakusho.
I'm going to have to. I'm going to fix this.
I've only seen episodes here and there, so I'm not that familiar with either.
I never finished the full series, but I've seen the Dark Tournament a lot.
Do you know the closest I have gotten to watching Yu Yu Hakusho?
Hunter x Hunter.
No, I haven't watched Hunter x Hunter ever either. Nor have I seen Cowboy Bebop, Escaflowne, any Gundam series outside of what Prof has subjected me to. I've never seen much of One Piece.
Dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole.
Dig a hole, dig a hole, dig a hole.
Megan, you know we're gonna have to fix this.
Look here! I just like sports anime and Fujoshi trash.
Anyway, how do you feel about Sabbath?
I think it's Sabbaty, I guess. I mean, I really liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I thought he pulled his weight.
He pulled his weight with that dumbbell.
Oh, god damn it.
Yif. I mean, it could be a little smoother.
Like butter?
God damn it! What is this?
I stole that one.
Monokuma butter is the best butter.
I'm just cycling through all my puns right now.
Okay. So the consensus seems to be Sabbath does a good job. Most of us seem to feel like he does a better job in the game, but Zenith is the dissenting
opinion. But let's talk about the real hero of this pairing.
I think they both. I think they both do an equally good job. I mean, Sabbath is very Sabbath-y, but I haven't seen too many of his roles to where like it's gotten to the point where it's grown old on me.
So here's the next question. Austin Tyndall's Ishimaru.
Yes.
I actually do like.
Yes.
I actually do.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm all for it.
I'll say this. This is one of those. I have a check marks against a couple of these where it's like I prefer. I think in the end I did come around to liking Tyndall more, but I am not going to discredit Sean Chiplock by any means necessary either because he's equally fantastic. But
this is amazeballs.
Okay.
Yeah, that line.
If you keep mentioning that line, I'm gonna dock points. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Kamehame, forget about it.
Okay, fuck it.
Forget Beam.
No, that line I'm mad about. But you gotta.
That's Tatum's fault. You can't blame Austin Tyndall.
Okay, hold up. Hang on.
For reading what he has to act.
Okay, hang on. I forgot. I was gonna mention this because I forgot about it with Mondo. I'm pissed at Tatum because I feel like he wrote that line because Sabbath was the one saying it.
Well, some of the speculation is actually Bevins had him write it, so that's
either way, that exchange was
terrible.
Still a dumb line.
Guys, I know how we can make this go away.
How?
Forget Beam.
Okay. Wait, what were we talking about?
Forget Beam.
Why don't we just have our a bonding time in the sauna call good?
All right.
I liked it,
bro.
I liked it.
Bro, I just gotta say, bro. Just bro. But yeah, I'm of the same opinion as Tyndall that I was with Sabat. I think they're both equally good. Both
they
actors.
play off of each other really well. They played off of each other.
They're really good actors doing some pretty good performances, given the fucking worst things to say in the goddamn dub.
I will admit, between the two of them, I enjoyed Tyndall as Ishimaru more than I did Sabbath as Owada, personally.
Bro.
Though
I was just
I
equal on them.
I understand the Amazeballs line was a little bit like hair splitting and like what the fuck. But one of the things you gotta remember with Ishimaru too, when he said that line, he basically had flipped personalities because here comes a batch of spoils we haven't really been talking about much. So Owada killed Fujisaki. Everyone finds that out. Owada's executed. But before this, he basically had bond.
As if the butter jokes weren't as laid on as they were.
He was in pure, unadulterated despair.
Yep. And then basically, Ishimaru, who had ended up forming like this brotherly kind of bond with Owada, ends up getting so depressed. Later on, when the group finds Alter Ego.
Alter
basically
Ego appears as Mondo to basically give him a prep talk that he needs. Yeah. And then in an instant, he literally transforms into a Super Saiyan being as like a fusion of Mondo and Kiyotaka Ichimaru.
I still say the abridged had one of the best things.
I'll say this. Why did he transform into a Super Saiyan?
Because
We'll
fuck you.
The
That's why.
answer, fuck you, Kodaka, Danganronpa.
But anyway, I think that split in personality, I think that worked really well. Because you could tell the distinct difference between which one was Ishimaru and then which one was essentially Ishimaru and Mondo combined together in a sense. So that distinction was there, basically. That distinction was there, and I applaud Tyndall for that.
I like both performances.
I honestly, I can't fault him. I really can't fault him for his lines when he is Ishida, but when they're just being bros, those two lines just made me cringe.
I suppressed it.
Bro, are you from Tennessee?
Bro.
Because you're the only 10 I see.
Bro.
Okay.
Hardy's gonna punch me for that.
Probably. Anyways, we've gotten our thoughts on these two. So, who's next on the chopping block?
Moving on. So we're gonna move on to essentially one of the survivors who makes it through to the end of the game. Yasuhiro Hagakure, but then we also have Chihiro Fujisaki as well.
Why are we pairing? Okay.
Because it's the tallest one and the smallest one. That's why.
Partially
the tall and the small?
Partially because I didn't know who else to put Hagakure with, and then also partially because Fujisaki does at least have a bit more screen time, all things considered.
Yes.
So I was like, let's put these two together, I guess. Yasuhiro Hagakure, he is the super high school level fortune teller.
Shaman.
While Chihiro... Close enough. While Chihiro Fujisaki,
Chihiro. Let's just say Chihiro, because it doesn't matter what Chihiro identifies at. Chihiro is Chihiro, and Chihiro is a programmer.
Chihiro is the super high school level programmer. The two individuals who voice these characters. Chihiro Fujisaki is voiced by Kara Edwards, while Yasuhiro Hagakure is voiced by our very own ADR director, Mr. Christopher Bevins.
And in the game casting as well, Yasuhiro Hagakure is voiced by Keiji Tang, and Chihiro Fujisaki.
Oh shit, it's Keiji Tang, run!
And Chihiro Fujisaki is voiced, once again, by Dorothy Elias Fawn.
Okay, and in terms of other roles these individuals have done, in Bevan's case, you have heard him in Aquarian Evil, Big Wind Up. I'm just kind of.
Okay, remember all those dubs we said that Bevins directed? He's
more than likely been in it. Heroic Legend of Arslan.
Kuma?
He was Life Cool?
I think he was Life Cool, yeah.
Oh.
Life Cool.
Yeah.
He's Narcissus for Arslan. He's Japan in the Hetalia franchise. He's also in Jormungand, King of Thorn, Last Exile,
he's not.
Silverwing. In what?
No, I thought. Wait, is he? Oh yeah, he is. Never mind.
Okay.
I thought that was Scott, the guy who got thrown in jail for CP, but that was England.
He's Fastener from Panting and Stalking with Garvelt. He's in Princess Jellyfish, Prison School, Samurai 7, yada 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 yada. He's 9 from Terran Residence. Gotta remember that one.
Fuck, I will let him slide for that.
Yes. Kara Edwards, that's a name we don't exactly hear very often.
She is both Gohan's little brother and Gohan's girlfriend.
Basically, yes. She's also been in Bento, Certain Magical Index, Chaos Head, Darker Than Black, Heaven's Lost Property. Is she in Strike Witches?
Possibly.
She's in Strike Witches 2 as a smaller character.
Okay.
She's also in Sacred Blacksmith, Senran Kagura, Shaka no Shana, Salty Ray, Soliator Not as Eternal Feather, as well as a variety of other roles. So, again, I gotta get this out of the way. I have to get this out of the way first.
I think we might also be on the same page on this one.
I think so.
Bevan,
Bracing myself.
Bevan.
Okay, Keiji Tang?
No. Bevins, I love you to pieces. You do good work.
You're not
What the
good!
fuck did you do
You're
here?
not
What
a
the
good
fuck did you
Hagakure.
do?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I hated
I'm sorry,
every
Dad.
bit of that performance.
Here's my
every
issue.
bit.
Here's my issue. It was fine in the beginning. Like, he played it off like a normal person, and it was fine in the beginning. As the show went on, he turned Hagakure into this, like, surfer stoner kind of guy.
And it's
And
like,
I was like,
that's what we joke of him
no.
being.
But that's not who he is. It's like, Bevins, It's like, we don't mean to be mean by any stretch, mean or rude or any
Honestly, we've been
means
mean
necessary.
and rude to a couple of people tonight.
Honestly, we have. We're sorry.
We like you guys. We respect you. We're actually big fans of a lot of your work, but when shit's gotta be said about a series I'm a huge fucking snob for, it's gotta be said.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I respect you, Bevins. I love you to pieces and the stuff you do, but unfortunately, I really did not like Hagakure.
It also doesn't help that I just really liked Keiji Tang in this performance.
Everybody likes Keiji Tang.
Everybody likes Keiji Tang. He was also one of the more vocal ones about wanting to actually would have totally been Hagakure again if he was asked, but he just wasn't asked for the speculative reasons we had.
But it's okay. We'll bring him up again soon. But not right now. Anyway.
Also, does anybody want to buy me this month's Loot Crate, guys? Anyway.
No.
I already have my own, damn it. But
speaking of,
yeah, honestly, I really hate to say this. I think this is the absolute weakest performance to me.
Yes, as much as I hated Hifumi in this.
Yeah. No.
Okay, I would say for me, this is actually my second least.
Did we get to it already?
One of the person I'm not as fond of.
Did we get to it already?
No, we haven't gotten to them already.
Great.
But I don't like how every single line out of his mouth in this dub as time goes on is just he doesn't add anything to the scene. It's just him saying pshaw, yeah,
it's
man.
I get it. Hagakure is a joke character, but the dub, the anime pacing plus the dub localization changes make it a whole lot worse.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
There's it's one of those things where there's probably a lot of factors coming into play here, unfortunately.
It's Bevins, you're a very good director. I do applaud you for the majority of the directing in this show, in this dub. You yourself are just not great.
You should have given the role to somebody else. Frankly, I don't know. I think Mike McFarlane.
I've seen Bevins in a lot better roles too.
Yeah, that's the other problem. Is I have seen Bevins in plenty of other roles where he exceeds my expectations. I mean, I'm gonna go back to Terror in Resonance for a second here. I was
fucking
hesitant.
Great in Terror in Resonance.
I was hesitant when I saw him listed as 9. Because 1, I've never really seen Bevins in a lead role before, and 2, based on my initial first impressions of it, it just sounded too old and too mature for the character. But when I went through and watched the series completely in the dub for the first time, I was proven so wrong.
Oh, he went above and beyond for that.
Wrong.
That's why I'm personally really disappointed in Hagakure.
Yeah, so this is one of those times where it's not the best I've seen Bevins do, and there's probably a lot of factors.
It's a weak link. I'm not denying that.
Yeah, we love you, Mr. Christopher Bevins. It's just
I've liked the majority of the stuff he's done. It's just that this just
everybody's got a performance that you don't quite like as much. It happens.
Right.
That's what our show is.
It happens. Now, switching gears a little bit to Kara Edwards for Chihiro Fujisaki. How do we feel about that?
They were so cute.
Kara did a good job. I thought Dorothy did it. I feel like I don't remember who I preferred more. I feel like I might have actually preferred Dorothy a little bit more in this one, though I did think Kara was good too. I didn't have a strong opinion.
I loved Kara. I loved Kara. She was adorable.
Yes. I think that
Kara really pulled her weight.
I leaned a little bit more towards the game, but overall, I think she did a brilliant job. One of my favorite characters who I really resonate with and managed to keep it being such a fantastic character, especially during the Mondo scene. So, just every little bit, especially the alter ego parts, because that's the same voice actor, I would assume.
Of course,
yep,
it's the same
one.
Yes,
it's the same one. Alter ego is Chihiro Fujisaki.
And we're not even talking metaphorically or anything. It's literally.
They actually are.
Did anybody else catch that "boy A is Moe" line? Was I the only one?
No.
I might have caught that this time around.
I caught that and I paused for a good minute, walked outside, stared at the trees for a little bit,
died a little
inside, and then walked back in, fucking opened up a can of soda and just, okay.
You probably needed a can of beer at this point.
I'm too young for that.
I'm about to say he's still underage right now.
Damn it. Believe me being a bad adult.
I'm about to say, Andrew's the baby. He's the
Babby.
babby. He's the babby of the Dub Talk group. He is. But
until we get Beth on, then Beth will probably be babby.
But anyway.
Oh my god, he's in a fucking giraffe suit!
God
Sorry.
damn it. Anyway.
No. I thought Chihiro's...
I liked Kara.
Both of Chihiro's
Kara
actors, I thought, did a fine job.
Yeah, I like Kara Edwards for Chihiro. Fujisaki. I do. So...
It was totes adorbs.
It was.
Thank you, Tatum!
Based on the consensus, it sounds like everyone is rather fond of Kara Edwards' performance of Fujisaki.
Yes.
But
everyone's
unfortunately not so fond of Christopher Bevins.
There's like I said,
Sorry,
like I said, there's a couple actors in the game I prefer over the anime. I said there's two I vastly prefer in the anime. The two I vastly prefer in the game are Lucian Dodge and Keiji Tang as Hagakure.
I'm sorry, I'm still never gonna quote "Holy shit, it's Keiji Tang" and run.
Okay, yeah, we're doing the blooper thing from SAO. It was great.
Oh, Lord.
Who told you, Keiji Tang?
Yeah.
Please, if you know the "Holy shit, it's Keiji Tang" run is Kill la Kill, actually.
Okay, no, the one I remember that I really like is when they're talking about the Portuguese breakfast. Is like, you love it, you know you'll love it. Keiji Tang told me so.
I remember that.
I don't even know where the Portuguese breakfast thing came from. I just enjoy Sarah Ann Williams keeps on bringing up
the Portuguese breakfast
is
just
too hot for this conversation.
It just popped into the first SAO bloopers.
I don't know, have some tea in a Portuguese.
Anyway.
Or my other personal favorite. So can you stop patting her head and fuck her already?
Oh, god damn it. Anyway, moving on. The next two we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna talk about Aoi Asahina and Sakura Ogami. Asahina is the super high school level swimmer, while Ogami is the super high school level... What is she, grappler?
She's
MMA.
Fighter.
She's
Fighter
Ultimate
grappler.
Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior.
Something like that. I think
The Ultimate
Ultimate
Warrior!
I think-
I need scissors 61.
I think in the translation for the subtitles of the series, they call her the Ultimate Grappler.
Warrior,
It is what
grappler, like I said, there's
Close enough.
There's different translation, like 2 games, 2 casts, 2 translations. Fuck if I know.
Anyway, the two individuals who voice these characters, which, by the way, Asahina is the second of the remaining survivors of the entire Killing School life. So Asahina is being voiced by Felicia Angel, while Sakura...
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. And Sakura Ogami is voiced by Rachel Robinson.
And to clarify for the game casting, Aoi Asahina is voiced by Cassandra Lee Morris, and Sakura is voiced by Jessica G. George. Not sure who that is. Jessica George. Okay.
Okay, in terms of roles that Felicia and Rachel Robinson have been involved in terms of Felicia, you've heard her in Assassination Classroom, Bento, Defrag, Data Live, Devil is a Part-Timer as Emi Yusa, aka Heroine Amelia. This is probably one of her first large roles that she had, actually. You've heard her as Alex from Gangsta. You've probably heard her in My Hero Academia as Invisigirl.
Hear her, not see her, but hear her.
She's the hottest one that you don't know.
Yep, she's also in The Rolling Girls. She's in Selector Infected Wixis. She is in Seraph of the End as Shinoa, as
Best
well
girl.
as Tokyo Ravens, Ultimate Taco Teacher, Escaflowne, the new dub, but we're not going to say where, We Without Wings, and World Break, as well as Yorikuma. Rachel Robinson, let's see, she has done Divine Gate, Gangsta.
Sadly.
Divine Gate Gangsta, most notably Zoran Blitz from Hellsing Ultimate, Ferengis for Heroic Legend of Arslan, Noragami Arigoto as Izanami.
Good God.
Real Story of Devil, Rolling Girls, Show by Rock as Angelica, Snow White with the Red Hair as Gorak, Tales of Hysteria, the X, but I believe there's an episode
I think
that's in the works
there's
for
a lot
that.
of these in the works that it's hard to keep
Yeah,
track.
there's a lot. And then Wizard Barrister's been Meshi Cecile. So for Felicia and Rachel, how do we feel about these two performances?
Andrew, remember when I said there was a performance I didn't like very much?
Okay, do tell.
I really don't like Sakura's voice.
Really?
Really?
I'm kind of with you on that.
I just don't. I know Sakura is a controlled character, and I really like Rachel Robinson. I really do. It's just
the original voice is so much better.
It's not even that the original voice is so much better to me, because again, I don't know the original.
So you wanted the gruff masculine and girl voice?
It's not gruff masculinity that I wanted. Because I like the idea that Sakura can look the way that she is and still sound slightly feminine. I felt like Rachel Robinson was Again, I've also pieced through a lot of the series leading up to this because I didn't get as much time as I wanted to due to a lot of other circumstances coming up.
Get your thoughts out. I want to hear this.
I don't know how to say it. I think she held back a teensy too much. Just a teensy-beensy little bit too much at certain points, and I felt like I just really couldn't connect to that character.
Huh.
And I know it's a really weird thing, because I actually really like a lot of the rest of the cast. I would say, but though she's unfortunately my least favorite, but I still think it's better than a lot of other things I've heard.
I'm not going to say it's bad, because I didn't outright hate it. It's just, after hearing her game voice, and, you know, Sakura's the ogre, and like, the whole point about her in the first game is that they don't know she's a girl at first, in the first trial. So, like, even with the uniform. So I'm just like, you know, I feel she should have kept the masculine voice. Not that she didn't... Not that it's a bad thing that she has a more female tone here. I just don't think it suited the character or the story as much.
I honestly liked Rachel Robinson as Sakura.
I like I said, I
it.
understand the decision, like the game as well, but I actually did kind of enjoy Rachel Robinson as well, and actually did think she added like a level of like gruffness, but also like sounding like a girl as well. Like I completely see the point you're getting at, Zen, if I actually didn't think of that perspective, but I also didn't like dislike her as much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed.
Just remember, in Japan, Sakura was voiced by Orochimaru.
Oh, what? Really?
I mean, either way, I'm not gonna say it's a bad role. Like, out of like the ones that I outright hated, this was still pretty fine. But I'm just like, you know, after playing the game, I'm just like, I prefer the game a little bit more.
It's a lower tier compared to a higher tier, but it's not bottom tier.
Okay.
Then moving on to Asahina.
About to say, how do we feel about Asahina? Felicia.
I actually, this is like one of the only ones where I think I really like both equally.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. They're both. From what I remember of Asahina in the game, it was almost exactly the same. Like, I think they both did a fantastic job making this bubbly, energetic character and making them likable. I had no issues here.
Cassandra Lee Morris and Felicia Angeles both play fantastic characters I really like. So, they both played the cutest, hottest, donutiest babe ever.
Yeah, she was my waifu in this game.
I mean, she's a good choice. She's just not the.
Yeah, I would have to agree that I did enjoy Felicia. To be fair, the first time I watched the dub last year, actually, before the W Awards were a thing, I wasn't a fan of it the first time I watched through it, but the second time I watched through it, I enjoyed it a lot better the second time around, to be perfectly honest.
Okay. Point is, like, this is one where we're all kind of, like, unanimous, like, yeah, Felicia's great. Like, we've all been, like, Felicia's, like, biggest backseat cheerleaders. In this
Felicia, if you're listening, and you probably
Mom.
are,
She probably is.
We love you, Felicia.
Like,
she probably is.
We love you, Felicia.
We have no complaints about her performance at all.
Mom
Felicia,
knows.
we would
Mom
not complain
knows.
if you cosplayed as Asahina with donuts at some con and just sent us pictures.
Oh, speaking of complaints, who's next? Is who I think is next?
Oh, good God, hit the deck.
It'd be our last pair.
Oh,
Does that help you?
yes. Oh, yes.
Hit the damn deck, boys.
So general consensus, it seems like there's mixed feelings with Rachel Robinson, but everyone is rather unanimous in terms of Felicia. So, the last pair, technically it's the last pair, that we have to talk about. Byakuya Togami and Toku Fukawa.
Fuck you,
The
Togami.
esteemed Byakuya Togami.
Fuck you, Togami. Fuck you, Togami. Fuck you, Togami.
As you can see,
I
not a lot
love
of people
you,
are fans of
Mer.
Togami. At least the character of Togami. We'll get to the actual performance in just 2 seconds.
Oh,
Togami, Byakuya Togami is the super high school level affluent prodigy. A progeny, excuse
He's
me.
also super high school level. Go fuck yourself on a pointy cat,
Yes.
cocksucker.
Now,
Yes, and as for Fukawa, she is the ultimate
writer,
ultimate- ultimate writer or literary student or something along those lines.
or I can't believe
She's
it's not a
also-
Fujoshi.
Yeah, basically.
Damn it, I can't believe it's not Fujo.
These two do survive the killing school life, and the other big thing to note in Fukawa's case, she has a split personality.
And is
Her second
Hello, boys and
her,
girls.
her second personality is a very well-known serial killer named Genocider Show,
or Genocide Jack, or Genocide Jill.
or Genocider
Remember when I
Jill.
said loose translation versus tight translation?
Yep. In the anime, they decide to stick
What
with
the fuck's a
Genocider
show?
Show. They stick with Show for the anime, while the game they did Jack and Jill, I think.
Yes.
Which
fuck
I
is a show?
prefer, but that's just me.
Okay.
That's just you, but in terms of Show, that's the original Japanese that the anime, that the dub decided to do. Still, the two people
Yes,
voicing these characters.
I do know that.
Okay.
The two people voicing these characters for Fukawa / Genocider Show, Carly Mosier. For Byakuya Togami.
Dig yourself a fucking hole.
God damn it. It's Josh Greeley.
Okay.
It's
And
Josh
to
Greeley.
an
Bam,
and-
bam,
No!
No,
No!
okay.
Shut the fuck up, Megan.
Okay, and to
Shut the
announce.
fuck up.
Would you prefer
Okay,
to make
guys.
it rain?
Okay.
Make it rain. Make
To-
it rain on
No,
the
now-
I prefer none of that.
To-
Andrew, please.
Okay, and in their game counterparts, for Toko Fukawa, she is played by, as Toko Fukawa, she is played by Amanda C. Miller, and as Genocide Jack and Genocide Jill, she is played by Aaron Fitzgerald, and Byakuya Togami in the game is played by Jason Wishnov. Now,
The fuck's a wish now?
May-
Now, Andrew,
I-
I think you had another character that you really liked, at least performance-wise.
okay, I said there were two actors that I vastly preferred in comparison to the game in the anime. Josh as Byakuya is one of them as well. because
Yes.
I
Yes.
really hated his game voice.
Okay, just to kind of briefly talk about other roles these two have done, because I probably should have mentioned that before having you talk about that. For Josh, you've heard him in a variety of things, such as Another Assassination Classroom. He's Armin from Attack on Titan. He's in Bakken Test. He's Fem from Blood Blockade Battlefront. He's in Brothers Conflict, Comic Party, Day to Live, oh lord, Free Eternal Summer, Gangsta, Ghost Town, Hero Tales,
Hey,
Arslan, yada 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 yada
Hey,
yada.
Lilac.
What?
I think I know what would help you calm down. I think you need a little bit of zen in your life.
God damn it! Zen Wisteria from Snow White with the red hair.
I'm proud of you for that one. I know we're short.
Fuck off.
I know we're short on time, but I very appreciate that one.
Okay, Carly Mosier.
Hardy has taught me well.
Carly Mosier, you've probably heard a lot more, I think by the looks of it, more... It's a mix of both Funimation Sentai, but probably more Sentai, if anything. So you've seen her in Akame ga Kill, you've heard her in, let's see, Beyond the Boundary, Black Bullet, Magical Index, oh god, Dog and Scissors, EF A Tale of Memories and Melodies, Fate Kaliad, Gatchaman Crowds, Girls with Penzar, Hamatora.
Is this a zombie? Is this a zombie as one of the 20 U voices?
Yep. Little Busters.
She's Valmei from Jormungand. Great.
Yep, she's in Jormungand. Real Story of Devil, Say I Love You, Selector Infected Wixis, Tamako Market, Trinity 7, Venus vs. Virus, as well as a variety of other roles. So, we already know Andrew's thoughts on Josh's performance of Togami, but how do the rest of us feel? We're going to start with Togami.
Who played Togami again in the game?
Jason Wishnov, who I literally have never heard of.
Yeah.
What's a Wishnov?
A name?
I don't know. But
yeah, no, I don't like that voice, and I like Josh's better.
Yeah, I am
my favorite Togami is still always going to be Ferrello because it's a shitty little Karibo.
Oh goddamn. Yeah, I'm in total agreement with Andrew on this. I prefer Greeley's performance here compared to the game.
No, Greeley is just perfect. He embodies the character so much that I'm just
the perfect shit, and he made me laugh the hardest more than anything in this dub when he's called
because
an ass face, and he just sounds so offended.
It was
How
perfect.
dare you?
Ass face?
Like, I think we're all in agreement that Josh Greeley just did no wrong in this performance.
Yes, absolutely. I think this was also the point originally when the cast was announced and he was thrown in here, at least to me, when
that was the most
I kind of stopped hearing a lot of like the typical wimpy Josh roles that we're used to, and then branching out into something more mature and more adult. So I was like, yes, I'm done. I'm done. Let's go.
Okay. Now here's where things are gonna start getting interesting. Miss Fukawa, or Genocide Jack, or Genocide Show, or Genocide Jill.
Or whatever you go with, whichever version you're talking about.
Basically, Scissor Me Timbers.
Yes!
I'm curious what Zenith has to think on this one, actually.
I did not care for either. I did not care very much for her regular Toko voice. But when she went into Genocide Jack, I was underwhelmed. For certain reasons, I think she had gotten the worst dialogue in terms of writing, because I've played as Genocide Jack in Ultra Despair Girls. I know what she's like, and it did not fit her, and I very much prefer both in the game.
You see, here's part of the thing. I can kind of see it, but at the same time, I can appreciate that what Carly did. She voiced both sides, compared to the option that the game took in getting two actresses to play each side. I can appreciate she put the effort and the time in to keep those distinct and separate while still being the same person.
I can definitely appreciate the effort put into it.
But honestly, I think while it's a cool thing that Carly did with Genocide Show, in comparison to like Aaron Fitzgerald doing like eccentric, crazy, insano person, Carly, like, I think it was biting her tongue or something. Like, that was fine, but it didn't do it for me.
Also, knowing what I know about Genocide Jack, the fact that she's not just a one-note like joke character. She has, for her own personality, she is so complex, and I don't think that comes across quite as well with the dub.
Is that dub or anime? That's where the other question again. Dub or anime? 50-50?
I think it's 50-50 yet again.
Okay.
It's the same problem that I have with Hifumi.
I think, actually, if I was to answer that question, I think it's more the anime's fault than the actual dub performance.
I think that's fair. That's what I'm trying to distinct, is that like some of the harsh things we're saying about not getting characters right, some of it is not just the fault of like Bevins and Tatum. Right. Some of it is also the fault of the adaptation.
And for Fukawa specifically, considering she is one of the remaining 6 who survives the Killing School game, she doesn't really get a lot of development compared to some of those remaining 6 members.
She doesn't get a lot of screen time. A lot of the stuff with her and Genocide Jack is cut. And I think that's a detriment to both the character and to the voice actor, because they don't have a lot to work with.
I also am going to be a little snobbish here, and I feel like one of the script changes actually sort of affected the reveal of Genocide Jill or Genocide Show, because like in the game it's like, I'm not going to let Genocide Jack run free. and in the game, it's like, in the anime, it's just like, I don't want to get killed by genocide show. It's like...
Yeah, that was dumb, especially because the reveal was
because
that...
it feels like a lie.
It was a complete lie, and I'm just like, I don't think that worked at all.
Yeah, I agree.
So, by the sounds of it, in terms of Carly's performance as Fukawa/Genocider Show, it seems kind of mixed.
Okay, here's what I think it is. I think I liked Carly better as Toko, but I think I liked Eren better as Genocide Jill.
Okay, I can see that.
I like Toko's voice a lot. I don't really know what to say.
General consensus: Fukawa slightly mixed, but Togumi.
Togumi's perfect. Togumi's
fine. We're good. Togumi is good.
Togumi is a special snowflake,
when you have to spend time with a character, you kind of need to like their voice a lot, and that's one I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can.
So
agree.
Are we talking? Is it time to talk about Andrew's waifu?
It's time to talk about Andrew's waifu. We're gonna talk about Kyoko Kirigiri.
Bae!
Time
for Kirigiri explains it all.
Yep. So for the majority of the series, we never learn for the majority of the series what her ultimate high school level is until at least the last arc of the show.
Honestly, it was pretty obvious.
It's for the whole show and even the game itself, it's so fucking obvious. She's the super high school level detective.
She has gloves. She has fingerless gloves. Obviously, she is ultimate detective.
She is a very interesting character. She is a very developed character. She is was seen to be like the one-note uncaring, but she has to be calculating, and she's been numb to all the times where she's done this detective work in her youth and all that. She's been slightly detached where she wants to go on.
Just let Andrew whack off for about 5 minutes.
I would definitely have to say in terms of...
Oh, no headphones! Shh. Why are you betrayed me?
I would definitely say that the three largest characters of the series would definitely be Naegi, Monokuma, and Kirigiri would definitely be up there as one of the largest impacts on the show.
In fact,
I was just saying, if we're going by large body weight, that would definitely be Yamada.
Which is why we had to leave Kirigiri separate.
Because Kirigiri needs her own shrine of worship.
Hey. That's not how you spell Chiaki.
We're not talking about Chiaki.
How you spell Komaida.
Thing. I agree with you. We're just not there yet.
Listen, we're not talking about Chiaki. We're not talking about Komaida.
Damn it.
That's next time in this huge shenanigans. We're talking about Kirigiri, and we're talking about Miss Caitlin Glass, who voices Kirigiri in the anime. Andrew, who voices Kirigiri in the game.
Miss Erica Harlacher.
Alright, thank you. In terms
of... Oh shit, the witch is on her. One of the witches is on her. Fuck.
Anyway.
Fuck, one of the Ericas.
Anyway, in terms of other roles for Caitlin Glass, you have heard her in a variety of things. Absolute Duo, Acquired Evolve, Assassination Classroom...
She's Andrew's other wife.
She is.
Assassination Classroom as Nagisa's mother.
Jesus Christ!
Attack on Titan Baccano as Mira. Miria. Index and Railgun. Let's see. Devil is a part-timer. Escaflowne, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Fullmetal Alchemist as Winry Rockbell, one of her most notable roles. Another notable role would definitely be Haruhi Fujioka from Ouran High School Host Club.
She's Hardy's waifu.
She's also in a variety of things such as Kaze no Stigma, Lord Marksman, and Vanadis. Mikaga to School Suite, My Hero Academia as Andrew's other waifu, of course.
Mina Shido.
Mina.
Yes. Nobunaga, Noragami Arigoto, and a variety.
Shobai Rock.
Shobai Rock. A lot of things.
Hardy's waifu.
Hardy's waifu. A lot of things. So, in terms of the performance here for Caitlin Glass as Kirigiri, how do you feel?
At first, she didn't do it for me, and I felt bad that I didn't quite love it as well, but then once the actual trials kicked in, the Kirigiri, I knew and loved was getting in there. At first, weird as this is, I thought she gave too much emotion at first. I thought, as it started, it seemed like she was too emotional at first. Which is weird, but she's supposed to start out as being seen as cold and, uncaring and calculative, and then gradually warm up and, show care and worry and love for Makoto Nike, because she's totally into Makoto!
I can kind of agree with that. In the beginning, I wasn't too fond of it as well, but as it kept going, and we got into the trials, and then she started to develop more emotions rather than being having this cold exterior and letting her walls down, it got better.
So yeah, I feel like I also don't want to discredit Erica Harlacher either, because in the game she also did a pretty spectacular job of doing just that as well. I just think of the two of them, I will give the slightest edge to Caitlin Glass, but I'm not going to discredit Erica Harlacher by any means. Both of which are wonderful actresses who post the cutest photos of their dogs. And anyways, can somebody draw me the following thing? Somebody draw me a comic of Kyoko bringing home both of the dogs of Erica Harlacher and Caitlin Glass. One is basically
Bonnie.
Yes, and also Gus. Just bringing both of those dogs home to Makoto.
Gus and Bonnie.
Yes.
That would be funny.
Somebody
That'd
draw
be
me
so
that
cute.
of her bringing home both of those dogs to Makoto. Be like, can I keep it? Can I keep it?
That'd be so
Can you
funny.
somebody draw a picture of Rico Fajardo bringing me?
Yeah,
home?
okay.
Oh, God
I'm
damn it.
talking about cute
I'm
dogs.
just kidding,
You're talking
Megan.
about Slash
I'm
dogs.
just kidding.
Megan's digging a hole.
Dig a hole, dig a
Dig a
hole,
hole,
dig
dig a hole, dig a
Dig a
hole.
hole. Dig a hole.
Anyways, those are
Oh,
my
boy.
dogs.
At least I
What is-
haven't dug one. At least I haven't dug one as far as you
True.
did.
Shut the fuck up.
Journey to the center of the
Zenith.
grilly.
Shut the fuck up.
Zenith, you
Zenith,
can.
how do you feel about Caitlyn? How do you feel about
Anyway.
Caitlyn? How do you feel about Caitlyn, Zenith?
I thought it was good. I slightly prefer the game over the anime.
Oh, I
but,
understand.
Slightly, the thing is, they're both very similar performances, and I think they both did an admirable job. It's very hard for me to choose, but I think they both did a great job with the character, and the character is fantastic in general. This is one of the few characters I feel was not harmed with the translated script.
Oh, no, not at all. Which is perfect.
Yes. So they did a good job. I have no complaints from either voice actor. So kudos to both of them.
Yeah, I would definitely say they, in terms of liberties that were taken with the dub script for the anime here, none were taken for Kitty Kitty, which is phenomenal. Thank you for not doing that.
That's what happens when you put one of the
Yes.
other ADR directors on a roll, you piece of shit.
Either way, they didn't leave her out to burn.
Yeah, basically.
I got that.
Oh fuck!
I got that.
Are we good to move on at this point?
Yes.
Kyoko, I love
So,
you.
so.
You just gotta let it burn.
Oh god, shut up! We have 3-4-ish characters left.
We're almost
okay?
home.
I also really gotta pee, guys.
God damn it. So the next characters to talk about, technically they are actually the last pair. However, both of them are voiced by the same voice actor. And these two, spoiler alert once again,
If they're
They-
this
By the
far
way,
in, they
at this
know.
point, if you
Or
haven't,
they don't
if you've
care.
gotten this far,
if you've gotten this far, you probably know who we might be talking about.
we're obviously talking about Mike McFarlane.
We're talking about Nagisa.
No.
Komida?
No.
Let's talk about
No.
let's talk about everybody's favorite hot as hell but will kill you in an instant mastermind, Junko Enoshima and her badass fucking Call of Duty-esque sister, Mikuro Ikusaba.
Ukusaba. Yep.
Can we also just say this? Junko Enoshima, the poster child of Don't Stick Your Dick in Crazy.
Oh god damn it.
You know what? I would.
Oh god.
Andrew, you'd stick your dick in acid. At this
No.
point, I'm pretty concerned you'd
No.
fuck anything
Maybe
with a
it's the
paw.
I was
color pink.
Hold on. I was talking with Andrew a little bit before you guys jumped onto the Skype call before we started recording. So, in the second game when they're talking about the remnant of despair, and there's this, image of, some guy shooting a bunch of people, another one with, a missing eye or some bullshit, and one that looks like someone's fucking a corpse.
Oh yeah,
The
necrophilia.
corpse of Junko.
Is that somebody funking Juko?
Somebody fucked Junko's corpse first, more than likely.
Oh, it was
I
probably
was-
Komida.
Ew.
Yeah, I was like, Andrew, how much you want to bet that was
it's
Nagito?
actually,
Okay.
guys,
Anyways.
it's actually,
But
it's
at
actually,
the same time,
guys!
I'm just gonna say this: Nagito's not that fucked up in the head to do that.
I beg to
No,
differ.
no,
Well, still, anyway,
guys,
the
guys,
the voice actress who is behind both
fine.
Junko and Mikuro is actually Miss Jamie Markey.
And the
Can I say something before we talk about
Can
her
I talk
really
about
quick?
the game
Hold on,
actors
hold on.
first?
Hold on.
And then
Fine.
she is also voiced by the exact same characters
as Toko Fukawa, both Amanda C. Miller and Erin Fitzgerald alternating between her personalities.
Okay, really? That's interesting.
Yes.
Can I make my bad joke now?
You can make your bad joke now real quick.
Andrew, what's the name of the nurse girl?
Mikan Sumiki.
It's just Mikan wearing a dildo. Fucking the corpse.
I can totally see it too.
Yeah, all things considered. But anyway.
I'm now scarred for life.
I can
Anyway.
I've done my work. My duty is done. I am the ultimate despair.
Let's talk about Jamie.
I broke him. Yes, I did it.
Stop.
I've done it.
Stop.
I've broken.
Shush.
Sorry, Mom.
Let me talk, please.
Talk.
Slight context, because I know we skipped that a little bit. Both Junko and Mikuro are the ultimate despairs. However, they are also known, in Junko's case, the super high school level fashionista
and the super
and
soldier.
the super high school level soldier. So, Jamie Markey, in terms of roles, you've probably heard her in. She's in Assassination Classroom, Baka, and Test. Let's see. Black Cat is Rinslet Walker.
She's in 5 in turn, doesn't it?
That is correct. She is in Brothers Conflict, Brynhild in the Darkness, Dime a Dollar, Death Parade as the black-haired woman. She is Kana from Fairy Tail. She is Go from Free, Ginger from Gangsta. What else? She's in High School DxD, Love Live, Sunshine. Not gonna say where, because I know Megan will punch me in the face.
So will Andrew. He's got to do that episode.
Mikaga to School Suite, Nobari no O, variety of things. Probably
She's
another.
Panty from Panty and Stocking. That's the crucial one.
Yep, that's
which is
crucial
funny
one.
considering this role.
Yep.
Okay.
Can
I go?
Any other big ones? Nope. Okay. So how do we feel about Jamie's portrayal of Junko?
Well, we all know how Jamie Markey feels about Junko.
Okay.
Wait, how does Jamie feel about Junko?
She fucking loves
that
Junko.
explains a lot. Steph, I want to ask,
Yes.
do you want to go first or do you want me to go first? Because I think we feel very similarly.
I think we do feel very similar about it. How about you go first?
Okay. So let me talk about this. This is the one that I think I am equally impressed but disappointed in at the same time. And let me explain why. Okay. So here's the thing. When we start off as Junko, we see Valley Girl. And Valley Girl is the impersonation that Mukuro Ikusaba is making to try and seem like Junko. And I buy it. And then we see the true mastermind of Junko, and then we see every personality. We see the bookworm, we see the cutesy, we see the queen, we see the truly in despair, we see the preppy cutesy moe girl, and then British, yes. We see all of those, and she does all of those fucking spectacular. I think
yes,
both
she does.
Amanda C. Miller and Erin
they
Fitzgerald
don't
are
get on my head.
very great too, but they have a benefit of 2. Jamie does this with 1, which is what impresses me the most, that she does all of these so effortlessly and fucking amazingly. All of them are perfect and great and amazing. But
then there was one thing.
the problem the Valley Girl is a fake persona. But when she drops the persona, it's still Valley Girl. And that is where this disappoints me the most, because Junko is just supposed to be Junko there. She is supposed to be, that is her. She is supposed to be just her there in those moments. When she's mixing all her personas, when she presses the button, that's fine. But as her, she is just supposed to speak. She is not supposed to be Valley Girl anymore. And the fact that her is just Valley Girl was a very grave misstep. And that's what bums me out the most. Because it was so close to pure perfection.
Yes. It was just like... The game did a great job with these personalities as well. But when you start seeing them in the anime and... she kicks it out of the park, and I'm not going to fault it for that misstep at the end, because it was a lot of fantasticness, but it's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, really, it's the that's the main problem I don't think
I even blame Jamie for that. I think I blamed Bevins for that one.
It might be on Bevins for that one, unfortunately. But like Andrew said, because me and him were on the same page on that regard, because we were talking about this earlier too. Like, I loved Jamie when she did all of those split personalities. She was phenomenal and she killed it. But when she came back to just normal Junko, the Valley Girl was still there, and it took me out of that. Because, like, Junko is the ultimate despair. Forget her sister. She is the ultimate despair. In this whole situation, she is the mastermind of everything. So, I kind of had this expectation of the normal quote-unquote Junko.
Like, all Jamie had to do was just talk for that.
Yeah, all Jamie had to do was just talk. Like, even if she just used as close to her normal voice as possible, because she does have.
Yeah, she could have used her panty voice.
She could have, and that still would have worked.
It would have been fine. Or her, and of all the things, this is gonna sound really weird. Lilac.
Yeah.
Her 5 voice.
Ooh, absolutely.
Actually, yeah, I can see that too.
Though the five voice is kind of close
fantastic.
to. The 5 voice is fairly similar, I would say, to the bookish side of Junko.
If she toned it down a little bit from the bookishness and maybe mixed like 5 and panty, I think it could have worked.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Like,
I thought it was good. I can't really fault the final step if Bevins kind of threw a wrench into the plans.
Right.
But I think it did really, really well withstanding, and yeah, I think it's good. And
like, I feel bad for being very critical about that one, but that's the one that bums me out the most because it was so close to perfect. So close. And I'll say I do feel she's better than the games.
So, consensus, it sounds like that Jamie basically hit it out of the park. Basically.
She got a triple, not a home run.
Yeah. She almost had it. But it was still very, very enjoyable nonetheless. We gotta keep it up. We gotta keep it up. Oh god, we're down to 2. Let's talk about everyone's favorite mascot.
Oh, fucking
Teddy fucking Suckspin.
Monokuma.
Oh.
This is probably where I have the most contention.
I think we might have a little bit of words, Zenith, because I love the performance for this one. So,
I might
Monokuma
be on your court in this too. I kind of just.
I'm gonna be completely neutral because, again, my favorite version of Monokuma is Pharrello. So.
Okay.
So, the person who voices Monokuma
Get the fuck out, Megan.
The person who voices Monokuma, he is the teddy bear mascot who's the quote-unquote principal in this killing school life, who is controlled by Junko. So the voice actor who plays this character in the dub for this wonderful series is Greg Ayres.
And in the game, not
That's
Frieza,
not
that's Chris
Frieza.
Ayres.
His brother.
And in the game,
That's his brother.
he's played by Brian Peacock.
So in terms of other rules that...
Monokuma, get your two-toned ass down.
Wasn't Greg Ayres Frieza in the movie?
Greg was Goldo.
No.
Greg,
No.
you're
That's
thinking
Chris Ayres.
They're brothers, different people.
Okay.
Okay. In terms of other roles that Greg Ayres has done, he's done a variety of
He's
things.
Goldo,
Ambition of
he's
Oda.
Ganta,
Yep. Ambition of Oda Nobunaga, another Aquarian.
he's Nagisa.
Yes, Nagisa from Free. Baka and Test. He is in. Let's see.
He's,
Corpse Princess.
Hey, Steph.
Yeah.
You may. Jellyfish.
What?
Jellyfish. Also, I really hope you didn't want those arms.
Oh god. Oh god. DN Angel. I can't think of what the hell you're talking about, but oh fuck, now I look at it. Dramatical Murder.
That's it.
I'm going down the list and I'm like, what the fuck's she talking about? And then I saw that.
Jellyfish.
Oh.
He's that one kid from Gangsta.
That one kid from Gangsta. He's in the Evangelion films. He is also in Full Metal Panic. What else? Heaven's Lost Property, Heroic Age. Jormungand, Negima. Most
Negima.
notably, he's one of the twins from Ouran High School Host Club, of course. What else?
But to date, the best Greg Ayres role of all time, Leo from Ghost Stories.
Yes. Okay.
Any other large ones?
They're banging on the door like angry Avon ladies.
God damn it. Yeah, that would be good. So, oh lord, how do we feel about Greg Ayres as Monokuma?
I think it's good. I didn't like it as I'm actually probably on Steph's team. I like it a little bit more than Brian B. Cox. But again, my only thing was that he was a little too grady for me.
I kind of like in the camp where I see completely why both actors do a good job. They just do different jobs, and I kind of...
Yeah.
That's the problem here. I don't have a preference. Like, both do fantastic at doing it. It just depends on which one you're in the mood for.
Yeah, both portrayals do rather good. They have their own way of doing it, and it works for whichever side you're going with. Personally, I just loved Greg Ayres' performance of it. There's a reason why for the W Awards last year, he was one of my best male performances in a comedy. There's a reason why I gave him that award on my end. Like, even though it did kind of sound grainy and everything compared to Brian Beacock, at the same time, the personality from Monokuma was there. So even though the voice was a bit more grainy,
he had a lot more personality.
Yeah, it actually felt like it fit a lot more than what Beacock did. So that's kind of why I prefer Greg in this case. And also, it's like, oh my god, I just love this so much.
I really want to hear what Zenith's got to say now. I'm kind of curious because I might side with him too.
Cat fight.
Okay, I'm going to say the good things that I like before going into the bad. I will agree that he is very different, and that it still is the same character, it's still the same personality, still the same, like, it definitely shines through. Having played through the games, it was a really jarring transition for me. It grew on me as it went, but I think the thing that really I don't like quite as much is it's not just the gratiness of the voice itself. I don't feel he emotes as much as the original Monokuma, and I don't think he has enough energy for the role itself. Like, yes, he's shouting and stuff like that, but the original Monokuma is like always seems so deliriously happy and in a twisted sort of way, and I just prefer that so much more.
Also, he doesn't say oop poop poo, therefore it's shit.
No, that's he doesn't even have to say oop poo poo, but
I have to disagree on the energy argument. I think Greg Ayres brings a lot of energy to the character. Again, this is a difference in portrayals of the character itself. In Greg's case, he brings a different kind of energy compared to what Brian Beacock did. So I kind of disagree with the whole energy situation, because it comes down to two different performances that are vastly different from each other. And while slightly on the emoting side, I can kind of agree with you, but I still feel like he did emote. He had a lot of fun with this role. You can tell Greg really had fun with this role.
Agreed. I'm not saying it's a bad performance by any stretch. It's just, for me, having played through all three games and watching this, it initially came as quite a bit of a difference and a shock. And it did grow on me, and as I got used to it, I'm just like, okay, I can see what people like in it. It's just not my preferred role.
See, I think kind of what this ends up coming down to, in a good amount of the case, is because you played the games first before seeing the anime.
Yes.
I saw the anime first before even looking into the games. So both arguments, like, we heard one end first before we heard the other. So
and I watched the sub before I even heard both of those.
Yeah, like I watched the series as it aired originally years ago. But in terms of the actual dub, I saw the anime first before the game.
For the other two arcs, the original Monokuma voice isn't even there anymore because that actress actually came down with dementia.
Yeah, she was retired after the last
is really bad,
game that
and
happened.
I wish her like the best of luck. And
Absolutely.
I hope she has a very, very comfortable rest of her life.
Yes. Absolutely.
So that was tactfully done. Now let's talk about fucking despair and memes. Okay.
Back to despair.
So,
I think, by the sounds of it, it seems like the consensus for Greg specifically is Monokuma.
just to make this interesting, I think I'll slightly side with Zenith on this one and say I think I have a slight preference to Beacock just because I heard it over Greg. Though I think Greg adds a very interesting layer to the character too. It's just sometimes it's a little grating and it's a little memey for me.
Bitch,
It's
we're gonna have words. We're gonna have
Okay, guys, I get it. Yay, fights.
It's very different, and I if there was a better script, I think I might have liked it a little bit more. But that's me.
Personally, I just really fell in love with it. I'm fine with it. So consensus, it's very split in terms of how we feel about Greg. So we have one more character. We have the lead character.
Super high school level. Egg.
Screams like a bitch.
Screams like a bitch. The true creme de la creme, the precious child, the prodigal Joe Everyman who gets the hot detective.
Okay, it's Makoto Naegi. We get it.
Makoto Naegi. He's the super high school. Originally, in the beginning, he's the super high school level lucky student. At the end of the series, he's now given the title of
high school hope. The ultimate hope. And he's the easiest one to
super
cover.
high school level screams like a bitch.
And in terms of the person who voices his character, this is the only voice actor who crosses between the anime and the game. It is Bryce Papenbrook. Now, in terms of other roles that Bryce has done, he has been in Aldnoah Zero, Attack on Titan, Blood Lad, Blue Exorcist, Brothers Conflict.
He's also 3 characters in Durarara. 1, Masao Mikita. 2, Masao Mikita. And 3,
God damn it, I hate you.
God damn it.
I hate you so much.
Fate Stay Night, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure,
he's also
Lull in the Sea, Noeen, Variety.
And he is the Antichrist himself.
One out. He's Kirito. Okay.
Yes.
I was about to do that and you cut me off. He's the fucking Antichrist.
He is fake guts.
Okay, so how do we feel about Makoto Naegi's for Bryce Papenbrook? Megan, why don't you go first?
It's okay. I guess. I don't know. I feel like such a bitch for this. I don't really like Bryce's Naegi. I actually hope they would have recasted him.
Really?
I don't like it.
I
never really liked it much. I mean, I don't think it's horrible, but it wasn't my favorite thing on Earth, and I know I'm being harsh and mean, and I'm stressed out right now.
Here's the thing, I kind of agree with Megan. When I first watched the dub, I was like, I don't know how I feel about Bryce. The second watch through of the dub, I felt a little bit better about it.
I mean, I would have felt better about it, but honestly, it just seems like he's too high out of his register. I mean, like, I don't know, because I don't know how I feel about him as, like, compared to the other person he plays in DR.
Oh, Lord.
But I'm also under the assumption that that character should have been fucking recast to prevent confuhun.
What?
No!
That's the entire...
That's the entire
that's the point.
fucking point.
Shut up! I haven't played the games, you pieces of shit!
No, we'll talk about that one next time, but... We'll talk about that one next time.
He's okay. It's not the worst thing ever. It's not the best thing ever. I think Bryce has done better performances for other characters. I enjoy him as characters like Rin from Blue Exorcist. I enjoy him as both Eren and stupid Eren from Attack on Titan Junior High. I don't know what else he's fucking in that I enjoy. I mean, he makes the Antichrist at least half decent, and just somebody get this man a Portuguese breakfast.
God damn it!
I'll agree that this isn't my favorite Bryce role, but I watched the first, 6 episodes, and then I made it just to get my thoughts on Junko, and I honestly really think the stuff that he pulled in, the last episode was actually pretty spot on.
Yeah, he's really good at the last couple episodes, but I'm kind of like, alright to it. It's an okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement, too. It's not my favorite Bryce role, but he still managed to pull it off by the end. Though, when we do talk about his other
she's
role...
awake, and I need to
Okay. That'll be a conversation.
All right. So
Zenith.
Hold on. Stop. Hold on for 2 seconds, because Megan has to bail and go do another podcast. Really quickly for you, what are your final thoughts on the dub of Danganronpa The Animation?
This is weird. I feel weird for not being there at the end to hawk my shit, so woman advertise and whore me out. My final thoughts are, this could have been a lot worse. This could have been a lot better. It's okay. Honestly, I think there's a lot of really good performances in it, like Josh, Felicia, Tyndall, I'm fucking all over the place. Splooge, Tsukimi fucking...
Sexy Josh, you like
Junko's
Sexy Josh too.
Sexy Josh, I mean, obviously the real big offender and who should be put on trial is J. Michael Tatum's writing. I also really need to poop.
God damn it! Thank you for telling us
Let the
this.
despair flow through your bowels.
The ultimate despair is that I need to poo.
Let the despair flow through you.
Whoa, let the despair flow
Andrew,
through my...
stop!
Let the despair flow through my bowels. Honestly, I think it's okay, obviously with certain characters appearing in DR3, I'm hoping that they're, Bevins, you can improve your character a little bit, not being mean, but I'm looking forward a lot to Part Despair and Komida is best boy, Zarek out.
Love you, Megan. Good luck with your
Bye,
other
Megan.
podcast.
Now that Megan had to run off to do other podcasts, back to our thoughts here, the three of us on Bryce as Naegi. I think in general it kind of sounds like it's not our favorite role for Bryce. Zenith, I don't think we've heard your thoughts on Bryce's performance though. How do you feel about Bryce's Naegi?
As someone who played both the game and watched the anime, I find it so strange that Bryce sounds exactly like the game voice actor.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's almost uncanny.
Damn it.
Honestly, as the only voice actor who reprised his role, I thought it was spot on. I liked him in the original game. I thought he was great in the anime. I had no complaints with his performance. Really, I don't see any problems with it. I liked Makoto in the beginning of in the first game. Yes, there are problems with his character, and I think Danganronpa 2 had a much better main protagonist, but overall I thought him as Makoto is pretty damn good.
Makoto was the perfect everyman before they made an everyman who wasn't actually an everyman.
Yes.
Yeah,
Makoto's a good everyman. Bryce does an interesting job. He does a different Bryce. He does a higher Bryce, but I don't think it's a bad Bryce, but it's not my favorite Bryce. But it's a good Bryce regardless.
I would definitely say so. I would definitely say so.
Bryce?
My favorite Bryce is still Stas from Bloodline. That's still my favorite Bryce. Though, if Danganronpa 3 ends up going the same way as Danganronpa 2 did, I have another favorite Bryce, but that's a story for another day. That's a story for another day.
That's another day we'll talk.
Oh, Lord.
Point is, we all seem to be pretty in agreement on, like, some dissent, but we all don't hate. We don't hate it, but we all don't exactly dislike it either.
Yeah, we're kind of we're kind of in the middle in terms of.
I like it.
I like it too, but like I said, it's hard to top Megumi Ogata.
And I mean, also Zenith, how many Bryce rules have you actually heard?
You heard
Sword Art Online.
Between Sword Art and Eren
Yeager. Yeah.
And Eren Yeager.
Exactly.
I think this is, out of those three, I think this is the best. But then again...
No. I would say Eren is probably my favorite among the three that you just listed, honestly.
That one
if we threw if we threw Blood Lad in there though, then that one just beats them all.
Okay.
Because I need to subject you to Blood Lad because that performance is just amazing.
Yes, and I need to get you your Attack on Titan Blu-rays back at some point.
That is also true.
when we actually can see each other.
Yeah, I know. What were you gonna say, Andrew?
Actually, I think I said all of my thoughts on Bryce.
He's a very good actor. He's a very cool actor. I waited 90 minutes in a fucking line to get him to sign my Danganronpa poster, so he better damn well be a role I like.
So general consensus, it's not amazing. It's not terrible. It's good. It's kind of in the middle. So the overall thoughts on the dub for Danganronpa The Animation. I know Megan, she unfortunately had to bail, and she already gave us her thoughts. Zenith, how about you go first? What are your overall thoughts for the dub for Danganronpa The Animation?
It was like a roller coaster for me, because there are parts where I think the dub did a good job of streamlining and making these characters, in some places, actually better than the original cast. But then there are some cases where I was banging my head against a wall. I built a wall just to bang my head against it, because the sauna was amazeballs.
God damn it!
It was just, for me, there was too much that stood out as, I don't like this decision. I was, for a lot of it, I'm leaning towards good. But then I kept, half of the cast I did not care for, or I thought the cast was not as good as the original game. And then the script writing decisions and that all together made it something that I'm just like, thinking about it critically, I think it's not bad, but just not good. And while I do think that in some cases the anime alleviates problems that I had with the game, I don't know if I'd be able to recommend this dub.
All right, I gotta do this right.
Yes, Andrew. What are your overall thoughts on the dub for this anime series?
This dub is despair. This dub is despair. It comes so close in so many areas and falls so far in so many others. So it's like, it's not a good dub. It is not a bad dub. There are character performances in this anime that are so much better in the game. There are some that are so much worse than the game. And then there are some that are on par, slightly could be. This one could be better. This one could be worse. Some of the decisions in the game were fucking cut out posthumously. So much of this 20+ hour masterpiece of a fucking game is cut into like 13 episodes, and that's the fault of the Japanese too. But then on the American side, you have really good character direction in some areas and some really shitty ones in some other areas, and then you have a script that's so full of fucking memes and references and over 9,000s and Tatum, where it's like some of it works but then some of it doesn't. It's so much of a giant mishmash of inconsistency, really good, really bad. You don't know when it's gonna be good, you don't know when it's gonna be bad. When it gets good, it gets bad. When it gets bad, it gets good. It's so despair-inducing.
It's like, in Danganronpa 2, where they go in that roller coaster and you don't know if that's going to be a trap. It's like they go on and it's probably going to be a trap, and it turns out to be a trap. And that's the entire thing. It's like, okay, is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? It's both.
It's so despair-inducing. It's
Andrew, are you good? Can you breathe, sir?
My Monokuma plushie is staring at you right now and wondering.
I swear to God,
okay.
I said this in my Loot Anime unboxing yesterday when I recorded. I will buy it if there's not a Monokuma plushie in there.
Okay, now that the despair has passed, it's time to get a little hope in there as well. I'll say this. Okay. There was probably, without a doubt, a lot of factors and decisions. I don't blame them for not getting the majority of the cast. I feel there's some areas where or something happened or something did not exactly go right, but he makes up for that in the next two we're going to talk about. But I feel like as a starting point for the series, this isn't a bad one. It's not a bad one. It's a rush job if you're into that stuff. But as an entry point, it does its job serviceably, and the majority of the actors do a fine to pretty good job. Or an excellent job in some areas, too. I feel Bevan's, like, we give him a lot of shit, but honestly, a lot of the character performances actually were pretty good, and were pretty good for what he had to work with. And Tatum, there was some of your lines actually worked. Some of them actually made me laugh. Some of them were pretty funny, and some of them worked. And granted, like, it worked, but when it didn't work, it really fucking didn't work. I'm sorry, but you are a talented actor, and you are a writer who writes things sometimes, and you
sometimes.
And yeah, like I said, I don't hate this dub, but this is the snobbiest you are ever going to hear me, because this is a series I'm really passionate about. And like I said, this dub, like, in comparison to the game, I'm going to reiterate this point again. The anime is a tighter translation but a looser script, while the game is a looser translation but a tighter script.
My overall thoughts on it, it kind of doesn't help that the dub already had, the dub not just in English, but maybe to a point the Japanese, they already had some things working against it. Because again, for the 50 millionth time, you have a 20-hour game being condensed to 13 episodes. So there's a lot of things and a lot of liberties that would obviously have to be taken in terms of the story and the character development. That being said, for the dub cast for Danganronpa The Animation, I also think it's a serviceable job. There are outstanding performances. There are not so great ones. There are some that are kind of in the middle where it's like, I'm fine with this, or maybe it could work a little bit better. But I think the two main things in general that might have worked against this dub's favor, one being the show itself and how it was produced.
Agreed.
In Japan.
I agree.
The second, and I hate to bring this up again, would definitely have to be the script. Because going back to that discussion, the serious moments for the script, they worked. Some of the writing for the characters, such as Kirigiri, it worked. But a lot of the comedic moments, they ended up getting not exactly the best treatment. And some memes and jokes, they got shoehorned in. Granted, again, some of them, it was great. It worked. I mean, Byakuya, like, Togumi being called an ass face out of nowhere.
That's legendary.
That was great.
That's legendary.
That was
I give
great.
you that one, Tatum.
That was great. Ishimaru coming out of the sauna saying it was amazeballs. I could not stop fucking laughing. Some of it worked. Some of it did not. So I think in terms of the dub, those are the two big things that it had going against it. But with that being said, I still think for the most part that it worked. It's like Andrew said, it's a pretty good entry point into the series if you're not familiar with it. But it's not the best. Obviously, the best experience, if you wanted to know more about this series in particular, is by playing the first game.
Which is now available on both PlayStation Vita, PlayStation TV, and Steam.
Ta-da! But,
Steam is becoming a big avenue for these visual novels, and I would highly recommend playing and watching. Playing the game first, and then keep an open mind, and then watch and see what you think.
I'm actually gonna give the opposite advice. I say watch the anime first, then go play the game, because for your case, Zenith, since you played the game first and you weren't exactly fond of the show, I feel like
if you watch the anime first, you're gonna be so put off by, like, the pacing of, like, the first chapter.
My biggest issue is that if you don't play the game first, a lot of the major points of the game, some of the important things are very skipped over. And
but here's the problem I have. If you play the game first and then you go into the anime, you're gonna end up disappointed. So if you see the anime first, you can get the general idea of what the first game basically is. Then you go play the game. Then you go see all these extra details and all these things that the anime didn't do. I feel like you'll have a much more fulfilling experience if you do the anime first and then the game.
That's fair. That's fair.
That I think that
is,
you have a point there.
You person watching this is a very like-minded, free individual who has probably already known all the big twists if you have not played the series yet. So, sucks for you. Good luck with that. I'm sorry.
Whoops! You were warned several times in the beginning. We apologize for nothing on that regard. Anyway, though, if you are interested in seeing the dub for Danganronpa The Animation, you can absolutely do so. Currently, as of right now, because Funimation is the licensor for any and all things Danganronpa anime. In terms of Danganronpa The Animation, at the time of recording this episode, the entire dub is up for free.
It is.
On Funimation's streaming service.
I was surprised to see it was free. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, what? So, as of right now, you do not need a premium membership in order to view the dub or the Japanese. How long that is going to stay there, who knows? Maybe by the time this episode is edited and goes up, it'll go back to the dub will go back to being under the premium subscription wall. If that is the case, Funimation does offer a 14-day free trial to give you access to their services, so then you can watch not just Danganronpa's dub, but any and all English dubs that they provide or they license. As always, fair warning, if you do the 14-day free trial, it does ask for credit card information. If you do not wish to continue the subscription service after the free trial, cancel the subscription or it will start pulling money from your account. Though personally, I love the subscription service. This is not a sponsor, no. But personally, based on experience, I love the subscription service, and it's a good way for me to access English dubs. Another way you can see Danganronpa, or play Danganronpa. As previously mentioned, the Danganronpa The Animation is an adaptation of the first game, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, which, as Zenith and Andrew have mentioned before, it is available on PS Vita, Steam, and what was the third option?
PS TV, which is basically just Vita, except on a TV.
So if you want to play the actual game, you can do so there. Let's see, am I missing anything else?
If you're going to watch a playthrough, don't do it where they're talking over it. Please don't. Please don't.
Because it ruins, this game is fully voice acted.
Well, the trials are fully voice acted.
The trials are fully voice acted.
If you're talking over, like, the static stuff in between, okay, I get that. But if you're going to fucking be a dick and voice over the trials, what the fuck's wrong with you? Look at you, Nico P.
In terms of, because as mentioned at the beginning of this episode, we're not done with Danganronpa yet.
Oh, no.
Oh, hell
We're
no.
going to induce full despair on all of you if it's the last thing we do.
Yep,
and I'm going to talk at length about my wifey.
We're gonna compete to see who can talk about wifey the longest.
That's okay. I'll go sit with Best Boy in the corner. That's fine.
Sure.
So, just so you know, again, the summer anime season does have more Danganronpa in store, with Danganronpa 3, The End of Hope's Peak Academy, separated into two arcs, the Despair arc and the Future arc. What's going to happen in terms of the order of which ones we cover? Technically, in terms of the timeline, we're going to do the Despair arc first.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh, shit, okay.
Despair arc... I feel like Despair arc because it follows the characters of the second
I think
game.
I see where you're getting at. We're doing Danganronpa 1, and we're doing the pseudo Danganronpa 2, and then Danganronpa 3. Okay, I see what you're doing.
Basically, yeah, you see where I'm going with this. So we're going to be covering Despair arc first, then Future arc after that.
Oh, you are not ready, fellow viewer.
You are not ready. Oh Lord, when we get to these two arcs. So if you want to keep up with those two shows specifically, as of right now, at the time of recording this episode in particular, the dubs for both these arcs have been cast.
And they will be coming out later the week at the time of this recording.
This week. Future arc is part of the Double Talk lineup, while Despair arc is going to premiere the day after that. So we're going to start seeing those rather soon. But if you want to play along with us, if you haven't seen the cast announcements for either arc, if you want to play along with us and make your own predictions, go right ahead. It's so much fun to do. One of those fun things to do, because I've talked to people before, and they have a ball making predictions now for shows. It's great.
All right.
So, that's going to be it for us. If you're interested in hearing or seeing anything else that any of us four, because Megan had to bow out, Zenith has a YouTube channel, youtube.com/ it's not Zenith will rule, it's Zenith will review, right?
Yes, Zenith will review.
Got it this time. If you want to follow him, excuse me, I apologize, I'm getting used to that.
If you want to follow Chihiro Fujisaki.
Zenith, what is your Twitter handle?
It's at Zenith will rule.
Yes, there we go. In terms of Andrew, do you still are you still doing 3 Victims Watch?
We're still doing 3 Victims Watch. After a long-ass time, we finally finished up watching Sword Art Online, and we should hopefully have the other episodes done at some point. We gotta finish the other one we started, but it's still in recording. I'm also doing several reviews this season for Infinite Rainy Day, and you can find my Twitter shenanigans at MangaMan9000, where you can that's what the Twitter is called, but at MangaMan9000, and my handle there is Classy Spark.
And as for Megan, because again she had she unfortunately had to leave to do other podcast recordings. She is a part of the Anime America podcast channel, youtube.com/Anime America podcast, I believe is what it is, where she does reviews, top 10s, and other podcast stuff there. That's actually why she had to leave early, because they're recording something right now. She also is a seasonal reviewer for Infinite Rainy Day as well, so you can check out her work over there. And if you want to follow her on Twitter, she is at Queenera2. That's QUEENIRA and the number 2. As for me, of course, if you found the podcast, you might slightly be aware of what I do. Basically, if you found this channel here, what I do is reviews, podcast episodes, vlogs occasionally. If you want to follow me on Twitter for all of my Twitter shenanigans, you can follow me at Lilac Anime Review, with review being spelled REVUE. And I think that's about it for today. If you are interested in possibly trying to help me get the podcast onto SoundCloud or some sort of audio platform so that way you can download the actual audio episodes and not have to worry about using up so much data on phones, I do have a Patreon. The link will be in the description below, and one of the tiers for goals is getting audio versions of the podcast onto SoundCloud. So if you want to help out, so we can reach that milestone and we can start branching the podcast out a bit more, I would greatly appreciate that. I know everybody else on the Dub Talk crew, we would love to branch out a bit more in terms of getting the episodes out there. But okay, yeah, now I definitely think that's it. I promise that's everything. So
good job, boss. You're the hope of us all.
God damn.
Despair.
No. We end off not on the Isles of Despair, but with a glimmer of hope in all of our futures. Thank you very much for tuning in, everybody.
Yes.
And remember to create your own future.
Create your own futures. But we'll be back. Oop, boop, 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 boop.
God damn it.
Bye, everybody.
Otaku-wan, my friendly despairs.
That's my line that you stole, and man, what the hell, Andrew?
Embrace despair, Lilac.
He's butter now, no question.
That's it. I'm done. Have a good night, Otaku-wan, my friends.